Amanda, how you doing? How you doing, John? How you guys doing today? Let me just turn this volume down a touch. How are you guys doing? Just sorting out the screen, guys. This is why I like OBS, because you can pop the chat out, right? I don't think you can do that on Streamlabs. So what I'm doing here with the chat, well, I can actually see you guys and video. I don't think you can do that on Streamlabs. Oh, Randa's got some time off. Cool. Cool. Are you gonna do anything exciting, Amanda? You going anywhere nice, or you got anything planned? Anything out of the ordinary planned for your day off, or are you just gonna go with the flow?
Hey Kevin, come on over here and tell them what time it is. Okay.
Incoming haircut and chilling. Easter egg hunting. John says. Do you have your hair like long, Amanda? Oh, look, this. I know it's a weird, but do you have your hair long or do you have it short? I think. Again, don't get embarrassed because you are beautiful, Amanda. I think you can rock any hairstyle. You know, short or long. It would still look good, wouldn't it? Right? Hey, good morning. It's nearly down my arse now. Wow. Wow. That would look crazy. That would look crazy. Hey, what's up? What's up, Dorian? What's up, Jax? Great to see you guys.
Coffee in the joint, coffee in the joint, coffee in the joint. Come on, man. Yo, higher than an F-16 in Walgreens. Trying to find some drops at the bottom of the Listerine. Well, I missed the clean when
Jaxie's daughter cut hers last week.
The last thing I remember was way back in September. Johnny had a doobie. It was groovy, full of pleasure, but I probably.
So you just cut your fringe and just let it grow. I think you should just let it grow, Amanda. Just like. So it's like right down, like a bit like Lady Godiva, like running butt naked in the woods, right, with that long ass hair right down to her feet, right? Is that Lady Godiva? I don't know what it is. Free, running naked, butt naked, free in the woods with just your long ass hair covered. Long and wild, yeah, man. But yeah, look, yeah, that's what I went and done, John. I've had the same set of clippers for years. Mine's always at skinhead level, crew cut, because I'm losing my hair a bit anyway. So, you know, I'm 53, man. So I'll just keep it as short as possible. So.
Eyeing up the pop brownies on the top shelf. I'm thinking maybe just a nibble to do, but I didn't eat dinner, so I gobbled down too. Oh shit!
Yeah, low maintenance. Get the clippers out. That's what it's about for blokes now. I mean, I've never done all that fancy hair. Do you know all the fancy hair they have now? All that groomed and cut and perfectly shaped hairstyles. I can't stand that. I've never been like one of those guys. Perfectly trimmed beard and all this. Get the hell out of here. I'd rather look a bit scruffy than have that look. That looks really feminine to me. It's really like a feminine getting men looking feminine. That's the way I see that. You've got to have a bit of ruggedness and roughness to you, men out there. You can't be as smooth as the women.
Can't find no balance in my mind. I must be missing a point. I need a coffee in the joint. Coffee in the joint. Coffee in the joint. What? Coffee in the joint. Coffee in the joint. All right. Coffee in the coffee in the joint.
Yeah, I go for the lowest one. Yeah, I don't put none of the number one, number twos. I just go for the bare cut, right as close as it can go. Gosh, done.
Coffee in the joint. Coffee in the joint. Yo, that's right.
Nothing worse than a girly looking bloke. Exactly. But that's coming from a real woman though, Amanda. You know, you're an old school lady, you know. That's how women are meant to feel about men, not like some of these people see. I see up this town, they're just hilarious. I mean, I'm laughing. When I'm shopping, most of the time I'm laughing just at the people that I'm passing. They look ridiculous. Especially the men. The men look absolutely a joke these days. How you doing, Ron? Great to see you, dude. Yeah, Jax is saying keep blokes blokey. Well, women like that. Women like a bloke to be a bloke. They don't like a bloke to be feminine. You've got to be a weird woman to like a feminine man. It's just weird.
That's okay. I'll handle it. Thanks, you.
I'm so glad you two have got the god mods. I'm so glad you two. You can say what you want. Yeah, Ponzi hairstyles and no rainbows or hairs or foundation. Thank you very much. I mean, blokes that wear foundation and makeup and what is going on? I know we're in clown world at the moment. We live in clown world, but this is getting ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. God mods. Posey Parker. I've got a Posey Parker. I think it's Execrate. I think X did a video with Posey Parker. I didn't. As I say, all the videos that I put on the list, I don't watch them. It comes up, I save it into the list, and then I go on to the next one and save it. So I don't actually, or I might watch the first minute of it and then I'll save it. So I don't actually. So I'm watching it the same as you guys. So you know, I'm watching it fresh. These days, it's that's man's wearing harmony. I mean, men's hairspray. When was it a thing? I mean, you know, you keep it trimmed and that down there, right? But where does all this manscaping shit come from? Where does that come from? This is weird. Why do I have to shave my nuts? Why do I have to shave my testicles? I don't want to. They get cold in the winter. Like, you women out there, you don't understand. When the winter comes, men's testicles end up in their throat. It gets so cold. You want me to shave them? Man, I want to knit some like testicle warmers. So you just slip them on in the winter. Some testicle warmers, right? You just pop them on. And other women these days, they want us to shave them off so we're freezing. I'm joking. I'm kidding. Hey Liz, great to see you. Hold on, Liz. Let me just give Liz a wrench. Liz is cool. Liz is from over at Ironworks. There you go. Can someone tell me what manscaping is? It's such a strange thing. Right? It's a strange thing for. I'll tell you what. It's a strange thing for people. Men are born in the 70s. Men are born in the 70s, and you know, you lived through the 80s. You know, you grew up in the 80s, started going out in the 90s. And then in 2023, we're now told we've got a manscape. It's like, what? I used to live free. I was never manscaping. This is the... Oh, now we got to deal with this. As I said, like, ladies, you need to understand that in the winter, it's uncomfortable for men. Yes. Yeah. Look, I'm not growing out free here. Like, you know, it's just like I've got like a huge forest down here. No, it's trimmed. It's trimmed. But my question is, why do we have to do it? I would just love to live free, wouldn't you? Oh shit. A mouthful of pubes, that's just too... See, we got the real... Yeah, no, Amanda, I've been told that before anyway. I've actually been told that before by somebody. Oh dear. Oh, Liz has never heard the voice before. Liz asked me what my voice was like, or where I was from, and yeah, Essex. You can obviously tell now, right, Liz? I actually live like it's probably about 30 minutes. It's probably about 30 minutes down the M11, 25 minutes down the M11, and then we're at London. We're coming into Leighton. Do you know Leytonstone? We're going to London that way. So down the M11 into Redbridge, I think. Redbridge, Leytonstone, Leighton, and in that way, yeah. David Gray. It's either top of the surgical table. That's why I'll always be around. You ladies are terrible out in the chat. You really are. Oh dear. I feel like this is the beginning. So, I have been to London a couple of times, but a long time. It's changed, Liz. You probably, if you come, you know, into London, you know, if you haven't been in the last 20 years, it's changed a lot. I mean, that probably goes the same for your area as well, right, Liz? It's probably unrecognisable from what it was 20 years ago. I mean, this place that I live in Essex, I could go back 10 years and it's completely changed. Over the last 20, 30 years, this place is unrecognisable at the moment. It really is. Yeah, Amanda lived in London in the 90s. It's changed so did Jax. Jax has lived in London. It's changed in the last 10, 20 years a lot. It has. You must have known that I noticed it. I noticed the change after the 9/11 thing, yeah. Because think of that, what life was before 9/11, and then after 9/11. There's two different lifetimes, right? It's two different times, literally. You've got pre 9/11 and after 9/11. They're like two different, completely different worlds, right? Completely two different experiences. It's so odd. Two different experiences, Liz. It's two completely different places, right? Pre 9/11 and after 9/11. I mean, pre 9/11, I felt free. I actually felt I could do what I want. After 9/11, it was completely changed. People's psyches changed. Well, it wasn't. No, people's psyche didn't change. They changed people's psyches through the TV and the brainwashing and the subliminals on TV. That's how they did it. They changed the next generation coming through as well. They got them thinking all this weird stuff, you know, 100 genders and all this weird pink blue hair and metal faces, all this weird stuff. Yeah, they've put onto the youth, and they've caused a what they do, they change the minds of the youth and they pit them against the older generation. This is the way they do it. Yeah, they cause that crash, right? And they get them fighting each other, right? And that's where we're at now. We've got this younger generation that's come through that really don't have a clue. There's a few very bright ones out there. There really is. I'm not saying that I'm not going to tarnish them all with the same brush, but for sure, you know, most of them are. They're so indoctrinated and so gone. You can't even. You might as well be speaking to a brick wall half of the time. Honestly, they've got their faces in them bloody phones, non-stop. How are you meant to form a relationship or any bonds or relationships in your actual experience in reality, right, face to face, when you're on that bloody thing? For the phone is causing all their mental illness. It's the phone. Because they're filling their heads up with absolute nonsense, right? And this is the problem. This is where we're at the moment in society. We've got these two. We've got the old ones, the older, you know, the 70s, 60s, 70s babies, right, up against all these new lot with all this weird thinking. And to them, it's normal. To them, they're thinking absolutely the right way because that's the way they've been brought up, right, to think. But it's the opposite way to the way we think. And that's done purposefully. Sure, 100%. They do it to all the generations, right?
As we move forward,
I just watched the film Tetris. Yeah, I'll see it on Put Locker, John. I'll see it on Put Locker, but I was thinking, should I watch that or what did I end up watching? I watched the episode 6, I think, of The Mandalorian. That's what I ended up watching. As I say, because I don't watch normal TV, guys. I don't watch normal TV, and I don't watch the news. So, if I've got a few hours spare, I'll come on the internet and I'll watch a movie on the internet. That's what I do. I don't, as I say, I'll stay away from news and propaganda and the stuff because it makes you ill. It really does, and it's meant to do that. It's meant to install fear into you because once you've got that fear into you, you're easily manipulated. Right, easily. You're like putty in their hands. You can be formed into any shape that they want you to, if you've got that fear inside you, which they've put in you through the TV. Right. So, we've been saying this for years. Get rid of your TV. That's the virus. The virus. Shit. Can't even say that word. The you know what. Already said it now. That's the problem, right?
your vision should
TV.
be clearer. Am I right? You are a tool in the hidden hand.
Hey, what's up? What up? Welcome.
Please don't be delusional. The rulers of this world practice confusing you. The people and the priests and the imams have been jammed by government scams. Minds systematically programmed. Blatant black hatred and racism. The way they lace the whole world.
That Putlocker channel that Honor found, that's awesome. That's the best free movie site I've come across. Because all the other movie sites that I've come across, the free ones, you get all these pop-ups, constant pop-ups coming up, and it's really absolutely annoying. But that Putlocker PE, you get one little pop-up which you can close. It says comes up, close pop-up, right? That's all I get is that little one comes up, close it, it says close pop-up, and then you can watch your movie. Without any interruptions or anything. So, yeah, and the quality of the movies are really good as well. So, yeah, big shout out to Honor for that.
Nation with traces of Satanism. This place is a pagan prison. The founding fathers' enslaving intentions were no different than Bush's and Reagan's visions. 1776 it took action. This Illuminati took form and was
You're a
spawned.
gamer, you know who's ruining
Your
the game.
$1 bill over. And if you want me to expose the true code of deception,
I don't know, Dorian. I don't know. I don't really play them games.
The number 13 is
If I go around with mates, he might have. He's got like the PS, right? No, I might pick up a controller and play some FIFA, and that'd be it.
Of the symbol are strategically hid. On the left side, you see a 13-layered pyramid.
But I'm not really focused and interested in.
A sign of the devil watching over you at all times. With the words
Jax plays Skyrim. Damn, what's that? I don't know films are any better. We spend a lot of time watching other people having lives. Yes, even though it's pretend instead of living meaningful lives of our own. Absolutely, it is. Beautifully put. It's a part of like what's wrong with humanity, isn't it? You just watch other people. It's like all this reality TV. What was it called back in the day on Channel 4? Big Brother, right? Big Brother thing. I liked it at first, and then I just thought, what is this? What am I watching? I'm watching other people. Hey, Shlo, I'm watching other people live their lives. It's like the other one. What is it? Watching people watching TV. What is going on? Why do you want to watch people watch TV programs? This is it's insanity. It's absolute insanity. It's all scripted. Yeah, all scripted. What's up, Shlo? We follow the ways of the beast and pay homage to pagan gods when we say days of the week, like Sunday. Hey, John, welcome. Monday is Moon Day. Tyr, the god of war, was worshipped on Tuesday. Yeah, the Big Brother thing, it was okay, wasn't it? Was it Nasty Nick? Nasty Nick. Nasty Nick was hilarious. That's the only one I remember. That's the only one I remember, the one with Nasty Nick in it. All the rest of them, I don't care. I don't care about that one either. But. The skull and bones fraternity, the secret handshakes, but understand he receives only 33 degrees. He secretly believes in Lucifer and other deities, many powerful and rich people. Hey, Chills is in the house. Chills is in the house. What's up, Chill? 3 billion gamers, scary. Yeah, that is scary, Dorian. When you look at those numbers, 3 billion. That's like, damn, that's over a third. No, that's nearly just about. What we got? 8. What we got? 7 or 8? If we just say a third. A third of the people are playing video games. That's nuts. That's crazy, Dorian. Christ, the anointed one, masked the birth celebration, but Jesus' birth was kept secret due to the situation. The king initiated a death. Jade, the dyslexic girl. Brian, the air steward. No, I don't remember those. I just remember Nasty Nick. he made me laugh.
December 25th, the birthday of the wicked.
Hey, what's up, Tony? Tony D's in the house.
Part of Satan's universal wise. A holy prophet's life being pimped and commercialized.
Technology has greatly advanced, but the people are getting more and more retarded. Yes, do you think it's the technology that's doing it though, Tony? I mean, smartphones for dumb people, right? You got to be pretty dumb to own a smartphone. Right? I told you guys, I've got just a normal burner phone from Tesco's. It costs £10. I can barely type text on it, and it's perfect. I make incoming calls and texts. I don't even put any money on it to make outgoing calls. Right? It's all incoming. So, you know, if you want to get hold of me, you can get hold of me. This is it. Yeah, I've got a fancy phone. Yeah, no FaceTime. None of all this. I've just got a crappy, the worst phone you could possibly get. They're the best ones. They are, because none of them have got GPS on. You can't be tracked. It's just, you know, if you want to get in touch with me, here's the number to get in touch with me. Right? We can talk just over the phone normally. Do you remember the Ericsson? Do you remember the Ericsson flips? Way back. Do you remember them? I had a little blue one, a little sky blue one, and it was just like a little flip phone, yeah? You just flipped out the bottom. That was perfect. You don't need all this today. You're literally walking around now with a mini computer, aren't you? You've got a mini computer in your pocket. That's what you've got. That's crazy. Lots of children grew up with video as a nursemaid. Yes, yes, and TV, Ron. You know, a lot of parents just plonk their kids in front of the TV and video games, right? You play that or watch that, and I was lucky. I was lucky in that sense because growing up as a kid, I was so hyperactive. I couldn't sit down. There was no way I could sit down and watch telly for an hour. There's no way. My mind was way too active. I was always out and about. You know, I'm going out. This is like 10 o'clock in the morning, right? 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, and I'm going up from a mate, and we're going to go here. Then we're going to go up to town. Then we're going to come back, and it was just constant. There was no time to watch TV. No time. But you know, I'm talking about even when I was quite young. You know, you were still going out quite early in the summer, especially when the summer come along and you was off school. You had your summer holidays. We had things in the UK called play schemes. It was actually just, they built them specifically for kids in the summer, right? I was, as I say, I lived in there. I was really lucky. Literally behind my house, yeah, there was a big field, right? A cycle track went up the side of it. There was a paddling pool, small and a big paddling pool. So they kind of joined each other. You had two circles, one bigger than the other. The lower one was higher up than the bottom one, the bigger one for the adult kids, let's say. Yeah, and you had tennis courts. We had a massive park with slides and all that. We had a recreational building for all the people that lived in the area to go to, and we had a play scheme. And that play scheme went onto a big double field for all the footballers. So it was, you can imagine, it was a big area of space that we had, just to do what we wanted, really. And that's what I mean. We was over there constantly. It was constantly over there, you know, in the play schemes. And those play schemes were a great idea for the kids. I've said this before. If any of you politicians out there want to get in the good books with the UK public, bring back the play schemes. I'm telling you, they were unbelievable. The kids loved it. You got the kids out the parents' hair through the summer, right? It wasn't bothering the parents constantly. Brilliant idea. Hey Ren, how you doing? Daniel's in the house. Hey Ron, good morning. You had like the community centre, yeah. Well, the play scheme was actually run by the council. It was actually a council-run thing where you had these people that come in the morning, opened up. You got the pool table out. You got the table tennis table out. You could play darts. You could play badminton. You could play football, snooker, pool. You could play. They had a back room at the back where they had a computer at the back there. Brilliant in the summer, as I say, absolutely fantastic. It was a really good idea, and they got rid of them all for some reason. A real shame, a real shame. Yeah, because they've got they're all gamers now, right, Jax? They've literally taken people, the youth, they've taken them from outside being active, being out on the streets active, even if they were causing mischief. Like, we used to cause a lot of mischief, right? We was always going scrumping and going in people's gardens, nicking their apples, and we was always doing that. Yeah. I think I've said too much. But you know, with that, you got to take the rough with the smooth, right? You got to take the rough with the smooth. Like the play schemes used to keep a lot of kids out of trouble. Well, they do things like youth clubs and all this, and it ain't the same. It's not the same as a play scheme. A play scheme was a big building. It was a big building specifically built for kids, and you know, to go in there and play football and stuff like this. You could play five-a-side football in these buildings. They were that big, right? They weren't no small. You had big double doors that led out onto the big field at the back. Yeah, brilliant, absolutely brilliant idea. So yeah, think about what they've done. They've taken the kids, active kids, off the streets and plonked them in front of a TV with a computer and telling them they're unhealthy. Wow. Most of them are unhealthy, by the way. That's just a fact. If it isn't mental health, it's physical, right? Or a bit overweight, or these are just facts. Right? I'm not lying. It's just. They invented TikTok for them. All the youthies are closed. Yeah, isn't it crazy, Amanda? Amanda probably remember the play schemes and all that as well as Jackson, a few others. Especially if you lived around the Essex way. If you lived in Essex and around Essex, you definitely remember the play scheme. So that's what I mean. They've closed it all down for the youth. So the youths have got probably no choice but to sit indoors playing computer games, which is mushing up their brain. It's just. You know, then they're easily indoctrinated. You know, they believe anything they read and see off TV. It's like a snowball effect on the psyche of these youth, right? It's just a snowball effect that's gathering momentum. I feel sorry for the youth. I really do these days. They haven't got much of a chance unless you go along with what they say. If you go along with what they say and you pass your grades, you go into college and you go into university and all this nonsense, right? For me personally, that's my opinion. You'll probably do okay, but not everyone's wired up like that, right? Not everyone's wired up like that to do that. College, university, and paying off a life of debt. Not everyone wants to do that. Hey, thanks for popping in, Liz. Great to see you, right? Nice one. Thank you very much. Is there only one truth, true absolute, nothing new under the sun? Yeah, I would say so, Dorian. And we got some good vids coming up anyway. I've got a couple of, in fact, I better actually. What we do, we'll play a few more tunes and then we'll come back to it.
And realize there's nothing left, cause I've been blasting and laughing so long that even my mama thinks that my mind is gone. But I ain't never crossed a man that didn't deserve it. Me be treated like a punk.
Yeah, we see you at Ironworks, Liz.
Watch how you're talking and where you're walking. Or you and your homies might be lying and chalk. I really hate the trip, but
that's what I mean. People could take me the wrong way because I can be a bit straightforward and brutal sometimes. But when I'm in other people's chats and I will respect that chat and hang out. I wouldn't be rude to people. Although I will still ask them questions, like I have done with The Alchemist, like I have done with Campbell, like I have done with Martin Leidke in the Ironworks. I've asked them all questions and they all chose to ignore me. Which means they've seen the videos that I do, right? Because if they've got no reason to ignore me if they're not watching. Right, so yeah, if they ignore me, that says a lot for me. Right, you can't answer a simple question. I think the alchemist one, I said to him, "What, you believe in gravity and all this stuff, and you're in a flat Earth channel though?" That's what I said to him. No answer. Martin was like, "Martin, don't worry, they're all just jokes." And I put a smiley answer. I did say that he was on cocaine though on Stevie's channel. It looked like he was on cocaine. He had all this stuff falling out of his nose. He kept turning the screen off, and when he switched it back on, these eyes were massive, and he had a big grin on his face every time. Just like, is this guy taking coke off screen and coming on, and it's all sniffing and he's rubbing his nose and all this, all the symptoms, all the cocaine symptoms. But I said to Martin, look, they're just joking. No answer. No. Even Dave Weiss answers me, and I wasn't too pleasant with Dave Weiss about the way he held himself with Professor Dave, right? When he had that interview, when he got crushed by Professor Dave, the fake professor. I said to him, look, you've got to be more vigilant with people like that, Dave, because they're going to come in and throw curveballs at you. You can't be scripted constantly, because then you ain't going to have a rebuttal. If you're scripted like that, and he was like, even Dave Weiss replied, but these three clowns, no, they won't reply. Why is that? Because we know what they're about. We know what they're about, right? We know that Alchemist is a glober. Trying to teach truth to flat earthers and real truth seekers. If your foundation is wrong, Alchemist, then everything that you building off that foundation, which is wrong, is going to be wonky. So why should we be listening to a single word you say? We shouldn't be. Shouldn't be.
As they croak, I see myself in the pistol smoke. Fool, I'm the kind of G the little homies wanna be like, on my knees in the night, saying prayers in the street light.
Hey, what's up, Chris? What's up, Tony? Tony's Coffee House is in the house.
The situation they got me facing.
Oh, is it Chris's birthday today? Happy birthday, Chris. One Trick Ponies. Look, there's only a couple of... Look, the only people that I know that actually talk about this and try and call some of these people out is me and Amish Space Station. The rest of them, they're like, yeah, let's just carry it on. Let's keep them going around like headless chickens. Keep telling them what they want to hear. Keep them in the chat so they keep putting their monies in their pockets. That's the game that's being played on you people. You don't even realise. You think you're part of some cliquey group. You think you're part of something. They don't give two shits about you. Just put your money. There you get it. And I'm trying to open people's eyes up to this, right? Look, I've been trying actually since 2019, to be honest, because my first video talking about this was actually back in 2019, and it's on the channel. You have to go down, Flat Earth Scammers Beware. Go and check it. That's me. That's me talking about it, and that's me talking about a video that Brendan made, probably a month or something before. So Brendan's been worked this out a long time ago as well. It's we're in a sorry state of affairs at the moment if we've got Globers teaching truth, right? to real truth seekers, and you know, flat earthers just won't have that, because we've been here since day dot. We know the scams, right? We know what you people are trying to do. We know the Globers have been trying to infiltrate this from day dot. Yeah, we've asked you for a practical demonstration of any of your claims since 2015, and you have none. Crickets, crickets, crickets. The odd tumbleweed going past. Because they can't. It's an impossibility, right? It's an impossibility. They can't show you. They can't show you water sticking to the exterior of a spinning object in reality. They can't show you it. It's an impossibility. Like if you had mathematics, right? Mathemagics and a bit of theory, some sounds and words, some drawings on a bit of paper, that's real. That's real. Right.
I'm an educated fool with money on my mind. Got my 10 in my hand and a gleam in my eye. I'm a loped out gangster, set tripping banker. And my homies is down, so don't arouse my anger. Fool, death ain't nothing but a heartbeat away. I'm living life, do or die. What can I say? I'm 23 now, but will I live to see 24? The way things is going, I don't know. Tell me why are we so blind to see that the ones we hurt are you and me?
I ain't seen it, John. I think Mr. Cheswick put the video of it in here, but I can't stand the guy so much. I can't watch this dude. I can't watch him. I just realised Coolio's got horns. He's got horns, look. So, yeah, I got through like 3 minutes of it before I had to turn it off because I can't stand the guy's voice. The guy's voice is so pathetic. He's such a pathetic human. I can't listen to him. So, yeah, so he got arrested for what? For assault and threatening behaviour. How is this fight the flag? How has Craig got an assault? He can barely lift up his arms. I mean, can't see the video, David. What do you mean, Jax? What the Oh dang! That was meant to be on this. Sorry. All this time, I thought you guys could see. Sorry, guys. Damn. So yeah, Coolio's got horns. Look, I'm not messing around.
Power and the money and the power. Minute after minute, hour after hour, everybody's running, but half of them ain't looking what's going on in the kitchen. But I don't know what's cooking. They say I got to learn, but nobody's here to teach me.
Come on, John. If you had Fight the Flat Earth standing in front of you, would you be shaking? Would you be scared in any way? Flabby, wet paper bag. What's he gonna do? Squash you to death? I don't know. What's he can he do? Sit on you? What? Obviously can't throw any punches. Not with those flabby arms. Bloody hell, Craig. Come on. I'd laugh at it right in your face, Craig, if you were standing in front of me, mate. A pathetic human being. You'd be laughing, exactly. You'd be in tears of laughter. How long has the system been bleeding loved ones dry in fake wars, yet nothing ever changes yet? Rich get rich, poor get... Yeah, that's right. That's the long game, kind of, the medium long game there you're talking about, Dorian, right? The system takes our loved ones to war. It does, right? Rich get richer and the poor get poor. There's a little rap there. It's a little rap there, Dorian. Always huge progress and changes after wars. Yeah. Do you think they use the war as the reset? Do you think they use the the wars as the reset to get rid of? Because that's what they seem to have done. They seem to have targeted places like Dresden and all these places that had beautiful, stunning architecture. The architecture in Dresden before they bombed it was amazing. It looked like a future city from the future. Check some of the buildings out there. It's amazing. So it makes you think, why, target these ancient buildings, right? Well, it's got to be part of the reset then, hasn't it? It's got to be part of it. That's how they do it, yeah? They target a place like they have done in the Middle East over the last 20 years, right? They want to get rid of all those old structures and buildings and libraries and the ancient texts, the clay texts in Iraq. What, think they went into Iraq for the oil? The oil was just a nice little side thing, right? It was those clay texts that told the history of humanity. That's completely different to the Christian way, right? Or way before. So yeah, it's just where we are at the moment. Right? It's just where we are. Tommy Rogers in. Tommy Rogers in. Hey Tommy, welcome. Hope you can make it. All of these people still a thing. I don't know. Obviously, Ranty's not. Ranty's never been a thing, has he? Ranty's never been anything. Another guy that makes up lies and stories. You know, what about the story that he was followed by 4 blokes that had the number plate? What is it? Flat Earth or Globy 1 or something on there. He had a number plate and they followed him and attacked his car. I mean, what a made-up story. And he got away from 4 blokes with weapons. Come on. Or he fought back or something. Ranty, you ain't fighting back 4 blokes. Globe 1 on the number plate. Come on. If that ain't a made-up story, I was followed by 4 blokes with Globe 1 as their number plate, a BMW. Come on, get out of here, Ranty. I'm a storyteller, and my stories must be told. It's absolute nonsense. Didn't he have a tire iron or something? Didn't he attacked with a tire iron or something and they threw it through his window or something? I can't remember the whole story, but it was just like, this guy's obviously making this up. It's the biggest tall story I've ever heard. The other guys, Chris, who else did you say? Shall I just Satan took over the West? Oh, fight Oakley, Simon. I don't. To say I cannot watch Fight the Flat Earth. I can watch him for about a minute and that's it. The guy annoys me that much. Right, I'm just going to go make a cuppa, guys, before top of the hour, so we can start the videos. I'll be back in about 5 minutes. Jax, that's what I was going to ask you. How's the smoking coming along, Jax? Are you still sticking to the plan? Oh, Jax has gone to Matt Cuppa as well. Sounds like Iggy Pop. I've stopped waking and baking, chill. I'm having like, I've had the same roll up for the last 30 minutes. So I'm just stopping that, cutting that out in the morning, man. I need to be a little bit more present. It's nice being high and yeah, I just need a little break. I'm at that stage where I need that little break again. That's all. But chill's hardcore, man. Chill rips it. Chills normally had 5. Are they like are they full joints? Chill, or are they just like one skin of joints? And you're on your first now. Okay, so what you're saying, Chill, that you're pushing it? Are you pushing it out a bit further instead of waking up and smoking straight away? Are you trying to push it out? Because I've noticed just those few hours in the morning, right? As I said the other day, just those few hours I'm putting a bit less tobacco in has completely stopped my cough. Yes, you might hear a little splutter every now and then, but it ain't as bad as what it was. I mean, so I breathed in, I was coughing. But yeah, it's made a huge difference. I'm gonna carry on. Oh, the full big uns. What are they? The raws. Do you use the raws skins? I quit smoking about. Yeah, you did well. So's Jack's done really well as well. I quit smoking about 1980. Went cold turkey. That was not easy to do. Yeah. It's good stuff, Ron. I can't look at Nathan's face. I don't think many other people can either, Dorian. I don't think you're on your own there, mate. Right, back in a sec. EOP, what's going on? It's 5:50 AM in Canada at the moment. I think Tommy's in Toronto, right? Tommy's out there in Toronto. It's just coming up to 5. It's coming up to 6. Yes, John, this is Vertex track. Birds of a feather flock together. Hey, Vertex popped in. Sure, did he pop in last time, or was it the last time we was on the Banner channel, David Banner channel? So we got today's stream, we got Saturday's stream, guys, here, and then we'll be going back next week back to the David Banner channel. Oh, I've got to be careful. I've literally got to do the streams like this. I can't talk about you know what. Not until May the 5th. Once May the 5th is gone and the strike's gone, I can start being a little bit more risky, right? But when you got 2 strikes on your channel, you got to be really careful. Check. Let's see where we are. Man, I've got so many tracks. On. How long is that? Pull that out because I have enough time. I want to watch the William and Natalie. Jared out. Should be enough. Starting. Oh. Right, can you guys see everything? Volume good?
What up, everybody? What up, what up? Space Station. Real quick, first off, I want to shout out to David Yates. And I'm going to have a link in the description to his books. Make sure that you guys, if you can, definitely get a copy of his books. He's been working extremely hard on them. He did publish some more books through a different publisher. I believe it's Lulu. So definitely see if you could pick yourself up a paperback copy or something, and
not this Saturday,
give them
John.
to some family members or anything.
I'll be opening up once I go back to the Banner channel, David Banner channel. On this one, it's too much of a arse and about to get it all sorted. Go live on this one. I've got not as easy. I don't know why. I've tried it before.
You know what I mean? He's
not a nightmare. So yeah, I'll be waiting till next week.
Truthers out here. But Daniel Pratt had made a good case, and I wanted to break down something. This is like another attack on flat Earth and stuff like that, and many other things, on truth in general. And I just because Daniel Pratt, he didn't mention anything, by the way, on Max Egan or anything, but I just had to say this because this is the same thing that keeps happening over and over, and I feel like so it needs to be said. But check this out.
Concocted a story around it, but that's what happened.
That's interesting.
So, but when that happened, you think, wow, this is it. This is the big thing. So how are they going to play it?
As the lighter drops or as your two hands come up? That's the big question, right?
And then it's been gradualism since then. Just gradually this, more of this, more of this, more of this. And then up to COVID. And
He's got a potato nose. Oh, Max. I'm sorry. I can't help myself. He's got a Jersey Royal right on the end of his conch. I say conch, like nose, right? Jersey Royal. Damn, Max.
COVID started, it just snowballed. But they just went at breakneck speed. Once they got everybody distracted, they got the whole truth movement really rising up. Like around 2015, there was a real rise of consciousness building. And there was a real sense of...
Wow, that nose has got a Max Eigen attached to it. Stop it. Stop it. What's that attached to that nose? Oh, it's a Max Eigen. Oh, right, okay.
Unity amongst the truth movement. Then, of course, they introduced the concept of flat Earth, which instantly divided the truth movement into two opposing factions.
It didn't. What are you talking about? It divides the truth movement. What truth movement are you talking about? When I come into this, people were just interested in flat Earth and finding out what it is, and you had Globies. There was no dividing the truth movement. What are you talking about? Sorry, I've got to completely disagree with that. There was no truth movement. What are you talking about? What truth movement? Looking into what truth was you looking into? There's only one truth that you should be looking into, and that's where you are. And that's what all this is about. And you had Globies, and you had flat earthers. No truth movement. The truth movement's been infiltrated. The real truth movement is the flat earth. That is the truth movement. So what the movement that Max is talking, I don't know what he's talking about.
People who believe
So what Daniel Pratt was saying was, first off, unity. Unity is not the answer. Unity actually is not the answer. And I do agree, because that's globalism. That's the same thing that they are preaching right now.
So what's Max saying? If you research 9/11, pyramids, aliens, and all this, it divided up that movement? What? No, that was just stuff that I researched before I realised what Flat Earth was about. Because if you research all that stuff beforehand, and then you research Flat Earth last, it makes makes sense of those things, right? The reasons why. So, nah, man, I can't see I don't know what truth movement he's talking about.
Okay.
There was no truth movement. There's people researching 9/11, people just researching all different things. There wasn't no movement. Come on now.
In everything else, he's not saying that we're all supposed to be fighting with each other or anything by any means, but I'll get to that. But listen to this.
believe the Earth's a globe, people who believe the Earth's flat. I don't believe either of them personally. I don't do belief. I wait till I've got
It's demonstrably level, Max. It's not about belief, Max. It's not about belief. I can demonstrate it to you with water. It's not about belief, Max. This is what's frustrating. People, self-appointed gurus, putting themselves above everybody else and still talking about beliefs. This is where you know these people ain't as savvy as what you think they are, right? Just another clown to me. Come on. Beliefs? We're not talking beliefs. We're talking about reality and what water can and cannot do in reality, Max. It's called demonstration with tangibles. No, not beliefs, Max. Not beliefs. Come on now. You've got to do better, Max. See, I'll stop.
evidence, so I know. But,
So are you literally sitting up here trying to say that if Earth is a sphere with a radius of 3959 miles, then the max distance to the horizon can be no more than 1.225 times the square root of the observer's height in feet, yet we can see for 10 miles on 1 foot. 1 foot off the ground. You trying to actually say that that's not a logical formation? That is a logical formation of modus tollens. This dude is saying he doesn't do belief. Yes, you do. You do speculation the same way Archaics does stuff. See, a lot of people keep looking at this as if we're all on the same side. We're not on the same side.
Yeah.
Like Daniel Pratt was saying as well. A lot of people don't want people to know the truth because then that cuts off your super chats. See what I'm saying? That cuts off all your
Talk, Hamish. Tell them. Because they're not listening. No one's listening. We've been telling you this since 2019. This channel has.
Your money. That cuts off all your super chats. When the world goes to all of them being unified, right? That cuts off your money flow. Because all of these so-called truthers and flat earthers out here, what are you all doing? You're all getting super chats to keep this debate going forever because nobody wants to ever admit the truth and actually
Talk your shit, Hamish.
do real measurements, and you're entertaining stuff that we already debunked. You're not even supposed to be entertaining that anymore. We're supposed to be up.
As I say, guys, I haven't watched this. I haven't watched none of this. I'm watching it with you.
Upgrading the class of people, making it a standoff, not making it a debate at all. Otherwise, you just continue to keep this thing going, and guess who makes all the money? David Weiss, Jaronism, etc.
There you go.
each one will argue that. That's how bad it is. You can't even not have a side. You've got to believe the Earth is flat or the Earth is a globe. You can't be just someone.
No, there's no sides to demonstrable reality, Max. This guy is honestly, he is a clown. Spewing his nonsense. There's no sides to demonstrable reality. There's no sides to the way water acts. It's a fact, Max. What a twat Max is. I'm sorry. Look at him, what he's wearing. As if he's some sort of guru from fucking India. Look at him. You're a moron, Max. He thinks he's intelligent. You ain't got a Scooby-Doo, dude. You think there's sides to demonstrable reality. You think there's sides to the way that water acts and its physical properties. There's sides to that. No, Max. To me, you're showing me now how fucking dumb you are. You're just dumb and silly, dude.
And who would prefer to see all the evidence before they make their mind up, because both sides will say, no, we've got all the conclusive evidence. And they'll argue the point from now till eternity. And meanwhile, the prison system is just being rolled out around them. Once the flat earth movement was introduced into the minds of people, and this whole concept of flat earth, they tripled the...
First off, it's not a concept. It is a fact. It is actually observable. We can measure. We
can demonstrate it, Amish. That's the thing. We can demonstrate it with tangibles, water, right? When we ask them to demonstrate with the same tangibles, they cannot. Because every person with a bit of savvy up in their mind knows that water cannot stick to a spinning ball in reality. But they're telling us it acts like this in front of us. It needs to be contained and it's level. But on the macro, on the whole of the thing, it works the complete opposite way, and it's sticking to a ball. Come on, Max, do better. Just a numbnut. Come on.
Been shown what the truth actually is. He says first he wants to wait before he decides. So he's been saying that for years. So he's actually friends with Globebusters. So here's Spacebusters. Sorry. So here's my question. When are you gonna look at all the proof then, Max? When are you actually gonna look at all the proof? When are you gonna stop saying that you're gonna look at all the proof? When are you gonna stop saying that you don't do belief?
He's a clown.
And you're literally up here just pumping up
Good morning, Mike.
arcades. And when he gets 100,000 subscribers quickly as possible, going around and doing his rounds with, you know, Campbell from Autodidactic and Paul Cook and John Levi, who doesn't know.
Damn. Even, see, this is why I like Amish, because even Amish has seen this, right? Cookie, Campbell, all these clowns, right? Even Amish has seen it now. He's seen it for what it is. Tartaria has been infiltrated by Globies. That's a fact. If you're listening to those guys, you might as well just join the Glober gang, because all the people in the chat are Globers. I'm glad someone else is seeing this now.
No crap, by the way. He just is an observer. That's it. And everybody's acting like he's some legendary researcher. He's nothing but a person who's put a lot of evidence out there for you to decide. But he's not a legitimate researcher. Okay? Let's not get that confused. And people wonder what the issue is. I used to look up to these people, and ever since I started actually making content, these people have been really ignorant to me. They've had real bad attitudes. The only person that's been real nice and reached out to me is Eric Dubé, and that's because Eric Dubé is a legend. You know, he is.
Amish, these guys are clowns. You've known it for a long time, Amish, because I've heard you talk about it before. This guy saying that there's sides to demonstrable reality, it just means what a moron he is. And absolutely, he's in fantasy. This guy's still in fantasy land. He's still there, making it out as if he's some sort of fucking guru. I can't stand people like this. These bloody with this big head attached to his nose. Potato nose. Just come on, man.
Flat Earth, as far as I'm concerned. He is the truth as far as I'm concerned. It doesn't matter what his own religious beliefs are or anything else. He's done by far the most. These other people are all shills out here using Flat Earth in order to make as much money as it's humanly possible.
Yes, Amish.
The speed. They, the powers that believe they be, tripled the speed of the rollout of the slavery system. They were able to, because people weren't focused on it. People were more focused on arguing what they believed the shape of their prison is, rather than focusing on...
What's this? Oh, is this what Max thinks it is? A donut out in space? Holy moly. Really?
the fact that this slavery system is being rolled out around them.
Max, you're an idiot. The slavery system's been here for 500 years. Are you a moron? What, they're just rolling it out now, are they? Since people started talking about where we are, so they thought, okay, we need to roll out this slave system in 2020. It's been here for 500 years, Max. Just spewing nonsense. Just words. Meaningless words, Max.
So what I've said already, and this cannot be debunked. If you can debunk it, please put it down in the comments. Okay? And I'll tear you apart. So how are you ever going to explain that you're in a prison system? Right? Here's my question. If the people don't know that they're locked up in a prison, you all think that you can drive wherever you want and go from state to state. You think you can get a passport and go to a different country, right? Oh, yeah, right. You got to get a passport to do that, number one. And if you're convicted of anything or they don't want you to travel for whatever reason,
he's an idiot,
you
John.
won't be going anywhere.
He's an idiot.
You might think you are.
As if they've just rolled out a slave system since people started to ask where the slave system's always been here. This is what a moron that this Max Igon is. Just, he's living in fantasy. He's living in his own mind. And that mind consists of a potato.
Reality, you're not going anywhere. See what I'm saying? That's the reality of the situation. That's why I find it so amazing that people are still sitting around acting like they're free. Here's the thing. First, you have to recognize that you're trapped in a prison. And if you can't even recognize that simple fact, then how what is it?
Exactly. See, Amish is doubling every... I swear to God, I haven't seen this. I've not seen this. And he's doubling... Everything I'm saying, Amish is doubling up on.
What point is he making? It's not about... We're not arguing the shape of Earth. We are telling you that Russia knows what the shape of Earth is, but they're part of the space program. India is part of the space program. Canada is part of the space program. America is part of the space program. China is part of the space program. Japan, part of the space program. All of the governments all in the world are all working against the people. That is the point of it. And when you wake up and see that, then you realize what's going on around you, like these wars and these politics and Donald Trump getting arrested and blah, 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 and all this dumb nonsense and transgender shooting up places, but then has the same color shoes or different color shoes on. Think about it for a minute, okay? First, realize that
all distraction, guys. It's all distraction.
we got solid proof of this. See, Max Igan's not able to understand that first you have to show people that they're in a prison first. Because while that prison system is being rolled out around you, you think that you're free.
I used to say to the flat earth people, I used to say, listen, there's a train coming. And if you people don't stop arguing about the shape of the tracks and pay attention, the train's going to hit you. And when it does, there will be no warning. It will be sudden. And you will have no one to blame but yourselves. And with the rollout of this whole COVID scamdemic, that's exactly what happened, folks. The train hit. The train arrived at the station, and people were still too busy arguing over the shape of the prison that's being constructed around them, rather than doing anything to stop it.
I also don't think that they leaked anything about the shape of the earth at all. I don't think that that's what that was. I think collectively people researched and actually...
People were just asking questions of where they are. There was no, as I say, there was no, I don't get where Max is coming from here. Really don't.
He stumbled upon this type of stuff, and people started looking into these things, and the age of the internet started actually...
it was... I don't get this movement that Max is talking, this truth movement back in the day didn't exist. It was individual people just researching stuff. There was no movement, Max, to be divided by what you say, flat earth. People were just curious and wanting to know, right? There was no movement. You know, and then saying, you know, you can't recognise that there's already a slave system in place, and you're saying that they're building a slave system around us while people arguing about the shape of the earth is a ridiculous comment to say, Max. You're obviously an imbecile.
Blowing up. I don't think that it was released because people thought, look, most people today still don't know about 9/11. Okay, so I'm not even gonna entertain that idea that people were tearing people apart. It's because that when you see something so obvious and when it clicks inside of your head and that you start looking into it, when you look into it, you realize.
Liz, he's saying that Flat Earth divided the truth movement up, and then as people were arguing about the shape of the Earth, they've built a slave system around us. What a stupid thing to say from this self-proclaimed guru. Just unbelievable. This guy ain't savvy. He really ain't.
That there are no photos of Earth from space. So all the people I see trolling flat earthers keep saying, "Oh, they took this photo in 1946." No, they did not. They didn't take anything. Are you forgetting Picard? Huh? Did you forget him? All I see is lie, and it's already been debunked, and all it takes is less than 1 minute of research in order to figure that stuff out. And instead, people...
I can't remember no movement back in 2015, some truth, what he's talking about. And I was researching, as I said, before I got to Flat Earth, I researched it all. Free energy, aliens, anything that you could think of, unexplained, I researched it before Flat Earth. Which was a massive advantage for me personally, because as I said before, it made all those other conspiracies. It made them kind of make sense why they were doing them, and the distraction. Right, it's all part of the distraction, right?
Will allow the conversation to
stop you asking the real big questions, where you are. Now, research aliens and pyramids and free energy and all this, and don't think about where you are. We already know that. That's been done. You live on a spinning ball. There's nowhere to go. Hang on. Is it possible we could be on a plane, an enormous plane, and what you're saying we're part of is just a tiny little fraction of that plane, and you've wrapped it around a ball, put it in outer space, and said to the people, the humanity, there's nowhere to go? Is that just your mind prison? Putting a prison in people's minds, thinking there's nowhere to go, but in reality, it's limitless what this place could be. The possibilities are endless. It's an amazing feeling once that penny drops, right? But we've got to get the penny to drop on people because they're still in their fantasy land of delusions, which is tough, really tough to get through with some people. It really is, and that's a shame. That's a shame.
You instead of actually shutting it down right at the knees, because you allow people like David Weiss to go and try and convince you and sell you something. Right? Instead of actually just putting out the proof and the truth the way it really is and leaving it at that.
But they suddenly saw other people who were activists who were on their side arguing about the shape of the prison with them. I mean, in many ways, even the whole Tartaria thing, because of the approach many people have had to it, it's about arguing whether this ancient civilization existed or whether it didn't. I mean, it did. You can see that it did. There's not really much point arguing about it. But hey, if you...
yeah, Earth is flat. You can see it as flat. There is no movement. There's no point in arguing about it, but people still do, right? Mm. Yeah, makes sense, yeah. Just like Tartaria, yeah, we got remnants of Tartarians. But here's the thing. You don't know anything about the history of Earth, number one, right? Because our history has been completely screwed over. The same as they got black people to think that they're slaves when they weren't. They're original. They are the Native Americans who were here, like myself and many others, okay? I don't have any traces back to any slave ships or any of that other nonsense, okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, just like...
that there were black tribes in America, right? Before they brought blacks over from from Africa, right? The Geechee tribe, you had the Khalifa tribe up in California, Geechee tribe, there's a few tribes. People don't really know this because, you know, they believe his story. They believe his story, right?
Like Dane Calloway put out, you know, black, I'm not black. Black is the absence of color, okay? I'm not black, okay? I'm not going to call myself that anymore. When you actually wake up to reality, you're not trapped inside of the nonsense that people like this guy, Max Egan, wanting to unify things is all about. And he says in here that no, this isn't an attack.
I find the Tartarian thing interesting, right? And I do agree with Max on this. Tartaria is on the maps. It's on the old maps, right? This place existed. These people existed. Now to say, and if you look at the maps, all the buildings are already on the maps. Right? They've already been built. Even when the Tartaria sprayed across it, right? The building's already on there. They're all drawn on there. So we don't know if the Tartarians inherited those buildings. We don't know that. We don't know if they built them buildings. So this is where the Tartaria loses me, when they start claiming everything's Tartaria. You know, when you're looking at sandstone, which is obviously been looks like it's been eroded by weather and stuff like this, and it looks melted. I'll give them that. It does look melted, but that's a natural process of a breakdown of sandstone. And what is sandstone the remnants of? Sandstone's the remnants of the ancient trees, petrified. They're literally carving out of old wood. When you see these like Petra and the place in India where they carved the church out of the rock, and they're carving, you know, even in the UK you've got these like carvings into the rock and like dwellings, old dwellings. Cookie showed one. It's all that sandstone. Because it's why? Because it's easy to carve out of. It's easy. It's like red brick. You know how soft red bricks? You can carve them easy.
On flat.
That's why they did it, because it was easy.
Earth and blah blah blah. Yeah, it is, Max. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. Because some people who can't connect these things, Darwin made up his little monkey thing because Darwin wanted everybody to think that life is absolutely pointless. You even got a so-called serial killer, Jeffrey Dahmer, coming out and actually admitting that he didn't value life because of Darwinism. Okay? Darwinism is made to make people racist as well. Oh,
wow, I didn't know that. Wonder where Amish found that out from. Jeffrey Dahmer hated humanity because of Darwinism.
All this is admitted, okay, in his real book when you actually research Darwin. And you'll find out what Darwin actually did, okay? It all is based upon and built off of Darwin and the random explosion from nothing, turning us into, you know, millions of years later, turning us into people that just grow intelligence and sentient life forms, and all of a sudden are capable of all this other stuff, reproduction and many other things, in this crazy mystical world from nothing exploding, creating everything that there is millions of years later, destroying the point to life, and also calling, like, black people in general, calling them like monkeys, even though...
Why has Amish only got 1,000 subs? How is this possible? This guy should have at least 10 times more subs than this. I think if Amish went live on a regular basis, if he went live, say, once or twice a week, I think this would shoot up his subscriber count. I really do, because I think he's one of the best to do it, Amish. I've got to give the guy props, man. He's really good. Him, William and Natalie, and a few others out there, I really do dig. I think they're really good, honest people, right? But not in it for the money. They're in it just to give you the truth. That's it. Money isn't the motivation here. Not for me, and not for a few other people that do this. And they're the people that I resonate with. The ones that I know that are doing it for the right reason, right?
Mostly white people are the ones who actually believe in all that evolution crap, meaning that they're monkeys, right? That's just how stupid and how tangled up, right, this entire thing is. That's where the racism comes in. That's where the nonsense comes in. Well, monkeys are just, you know, humans that fail to evolve. That's all. It makes perfect sense, right? In a clown world, right? That's why it's important to understand.
This is called Amish Space Station. Can anyone put the link in there for me, for Liz, please? He's only got 1,023 subscribers, which is amazing to me. I think Eric should give him some props on his show, man. Next time, I think, just because Amish, man, he's well versed on a lot of topics.
That they all constructed that. It was constructed, okay? That's why the flat earth destroys that. It calls out their science. It lets you know that you're worth something and that you're worth so much that people are trying to destroy you. Okay.
Hey, thank you very much, Tommy. Thank you, Tommy.
Hey, if you think it didn't, that's fine. Believe that. I don't care. I just find it fascinating to look at myself because I like old architecture. I like all this ancient history stuff.
Is Russell, is that Walter Russell? Darwin stole the theory from a guy called Russell, who was also a is that Walter Russell? Is that the guy that FPV talks about? Is that Walter Russell? No, FPV's always talking about Walter Russell.
What got me started on this thing to begin with? I mean, trying to find out how they built the pyramids and stuff. I mean, all of the old structures and all of the old world has got what got me started on this quest to begin with. You know, I started researching the pyramids when I was 8 years old, and I realised that, well, there's all this stuff lying around the world that tells a completely different story to what they're teaching me at school. How are they missing this? And I started to realise, well, of course they can't be missing it, because if I can see it at 10 years old, then I'm sure these people can see it. So I guess that means they're covering it up. So you start looking into cover-ups, then you go down the whole UFO and alien rabbit hole, and then you, okay, well, why are they hiding all this information? Well, it goes back down to cover-ups again. So you start researching government cover-ups, and you end up looking at Operation Paperclip and Operation High Jump and so many things that they did. You know, Admiral Byrd's diaries. I mean, I've got whole books back in Australia, whole printouts from back when the internet was just basically DOS programs.
1980s?
Just text, before Windows was invented. I got stuff back there from...
He was just like we was, Jax. We was just looking at the pyramids, pictures of the pyramid. He obviously wasn't researching. Do you think he was researching it, Jax, at 8 years old? I think he was just looking at pictures like we were. And he's just calling it research, right?
From like 1992, where I was going to the library and I was using the computer.
Researching
and I was just gathering information. I've got whole books on flat Earth, on...
No, you don't. No, you don't. No, you don't.
Concave Earth.
You don't have any books on any of that, because if you had done a little bit of research, you would have come to the proper conclusion, but you didn't.
Oh, did he say you was actually researching at 8? I've got to go back. I missed it. Did he say he was researching at 8 years old?
On any of that, because if you had...
It's back down to cover-ups again. So you start researching government cover-ups. And you end up looking at Operation Paperclip and Operation High Jump and so many things that they did. You know, Admiral Byrd's diaries. I mean, I've got whole books back in Australia, whole print. How are they missing this? And I started to realise, well, of course they can't be missing it, because if I can see it at 10 years old, then I'm sure these people can see it. So
right.
I guess that means they're covering it up. So you start looking into cover-ups, then you go down the whole UFO.
Yeah, but not at 10 years old, Max. You wasn't doing this at 10 years old, was you? Come on. It's a bit of a porcupine there. Bit of a porcupine, Max. As if you was doing all this at 10 years old. What? It's an impossibility.
UFO and alien rabbit hole, and then you, okay, well, why are they hiding all this information? Well, it goes back down to cover-ups again. So you start researching government cover-ups, and you end up looking at Operation Paperclip and Operation High Jump and so many things that they did. You know, Admiral Byrd's diaries. I mean, I've got whole books back in Australia, whole...
Name a kid that's researching the stuff at 10 years old. There's no kid. So this is the first human youth ever to be researching at the age of 8. I mean, come on, man. No kids researching at the age of 8.
Printouts from back when the internet was just...
Oh, but Max did, because Max wants to be like the guru, the number one. I started before everybody else. I started when I was still in my mum's womb. I started researching the pyramids in my mum's womb. I was the first. Come on.
Basically, DOS programs.
1980s?
Just text, before Windows was invented. I got stuff back there from like 1992, where I was going to the...
Max Egan's ego strikes again. Plus his big potato nose.
library and I was using the computer and I was just gathering information. I've got whole books on flat Earth. On
No, you don't. No, you don't.
He come out. He come out holding an encyclopedia, going, "The Earth's flat."
No, you don't.
concave Earth.
You don't have any books on any of that, because if you had done a little bit of research, you would have come to the proper conclusion, but you didn't. You're saying back in 92? You mean when I was like a baby and you still haven't figured this out?
Damn, Max. Yeah, show us these libraries, Max. You must still have the books, right? Don't seem the kind of fella that wouldn't be getting rid of all your books. So you need to show us this library that you've been looking at since you was 8 years old. With all the answers already there. You just read it and you come a guru. Damn.
Oh, okay. So you're not really a researcher then. Am I right? Okay, when I was his age and I seen 2001 happen, okay, with the tower situation, okay, my whole life was changed. You understand? And I started looking very early, okay?
On alien stuff, like there's so much stuff, folks, that I went down these rabbit holes back in the early 90s and realised that it's impossible to prove anything. And really,
it's impossible. Who says that? Why don't you guys who's watching this video look up MC Toon? I guarantee you'll see that little freak say the same thing. Say,
it's impossible to prove what, Max? That water doesn't stick to the exterior of a spinning ball? That's a fact. Water needs to be contained and the surface is always level. That's a fact. It's right in front of you, Max. What can't be proved, Max? See, Max he's in that deluded fantasy world where he can't seem to think about tangibles in reality. He can't seem to fathom that water exists in front of him, this guy. Damn. So tough to get through to some people.
It's impossible to prove anything. You can't prove anything. He's the one who goes around and tries to debate, McToon and them. He tries to debate, all the, with that guy Craig or whatever from Fight the Flat Earth, that piece of trash. He goes around with him and tries to debate people, and his way of winning the debates is saying nothing can be proven anyway. That's how he wins.
Well, Max is debating Fight the Flat Earth, is he? Oh dear. It gets worse, doesn't it? It just gets worse and worse. Poor old Max. Poor old Maxie boy. Fight the Flat Earth and McToon. These are the biggest clowns on the internet. So he's in good company then. Max is in good company. Right. I think I need to redo the clown world meme, right? I need to redo that and put Max in there. He needs to be one of the clowns. Welcome to Clown World. This guy needs to... I wouldn't have to do much to him. I wouldn't have to do nothing to him. I'll just take his face. I wouldn't even have to put the hair on. Just... Sorry.
That's how he wins it. That's how... So what's the point in talking to a psychopath? Think about that.
It's all about where they're taking us. Like I said, if you can see the goal, you know what...
Is there a red nose big enough to put on Max's original nose? I don't know if I'll be able to cover that up, Jax. That's going to be a tough job to do.
Goal is, which is total control of everything. And see all the steps they're taking there to get us there.
Another David Icke reference.
Which is why the Flat Earth movement was introduced into the world psyche.
False.
In 2015.
No,
and then give people a good 5 years.
It was on the internet before 2015. This is just his version of events, right? What he remembers. Oh, it come on in 20... No, it was... If you're been into the Flat Earth since day, you know it was on the internet before 2015. Maths Boylan's stand-up come out well before 2015. So did Sargent's Clues and Eric DeBay's 200 Proofs. And you had John Watson actually gave me the video the other day. Is it on the list? No, it's on the other list. But yeah, I think that guy was he 2012? That 2012? John Watson, if you're still in the chat. The radio guy, right? But it was out before then. It was out before then. It was it was on the internet. I recall about 2010. That's when I recall it.
Created an enormous amount of infighting, and then the Flat Earth movement went around and started associating all known conspiracies with the concept of the Earth is flat. There's people who'll even tell you that they destroyed Tartaria because the Tartarians were flat earthers. That's how demented the Flat Earth movement is. They didn't destroy Tartaria because they were flat.
So should I get him on like a tightrope? Should I get a tightrope dude, right? Get Max Egan's head, put it onto the head, right? Put a clown hair on it and nose, and balance in the stick thing, yeah? But on the end of each stick, you've got a globe and a flat earth. And he's tightroping. Oh, that's a good one.
I didn't say that.
They destroyed Tartaria because they didn't want us to have any of that
No,
old tech.
no.
They didn't want us to be empowered human beings,
No.
which is what we were when we're...
No, you don't know anything about Tartaria. Tartaria is still a gigantic mystery, trying to figure out all of who we were and where we were. 1790, they were already altering things and changing things here. There's so much going on here that you can't even put a reference point on Tartaria. But you like listening to a whole bunch of archaics, so you think that you know, when really you don't even know what year it is. Wake up. These are your beliefs, Max. These are yours.
When we were in that Tartarian culture. You know, free energy. We had buildings that produced energy. We could extract energy from the ether around us. Extract water from the areas around us. I mean, it was remarkable.
Why don't you show it?
But all of these things, all of these concepts, all of this different knowledge and these different perspectives have now become weaponized. I mean, the Flat Earth movement was weaponized.
Archaics just talks nonsense. Really, I've never known anyone to make up words on the fly like Archaics does. He literally makes words up on the fly and just passes it off as if they're real words. It's just, I've never heard no one talk like that. It's unbelievable, some of these people, man. They really are.
Against the truth movement, whether you believe the Earth is flat or not, whether it's true or not, it was still weaponized against the resistance as a means of dividing them.
Tommy
in order
Boyd,
for them to be
yeah.
conquered. And like I said, when it
Tommy
came
Boyd,
into
cheers,
play,
John, yeah.
the whole flat Earth concept, I warned people. I said, you watch, these guys are going to associate everything with the belief that the Earth is flat, and that's going to alienate everybody. Like anybody that was on the verge of waking up to the fact the government's corrupt. I mean, you can tell them all this stuff. You can prove it all to them.
We already knew that. What's waking up to? What are you talking about, Max? We already knew that. Governments are corrupt. How can you not know that? What? It's 2023 and this guy's talking like this. Like he's talking about 2015, but in 2015, we already knew that. That was already known. I think this guy's a bit confused. I think Max is a bit confused.
To be true.
I don't know if he's taking your meds today, Max.
You can get them totally on your side, and all you got to do is when you're walking out, turn around and say, oh, by the way, the Earth is flat, and they will throw away everything that you just told them. They'll just think, oh my God, I've just sat here and listened to a nutcase for the last...
See? I told you. I told you that this dude is off of his rocker. So Richie from Boston actually called it out really, really well, that he's actually one of the shills. He has put out a lot of information, but I think it actually is one of it's his own stupidity that makes him a shill. It's his own stupidity. He may not be working for any government entity or doing anything like that, but it still makes him a shill because he is put here with an enormous voice, an enormous audience, and refuses to actually speak the truth. And then he because the concept that Earth couldn't be, there's no way that it could possibly be anything other than what they're saying. That's crazy. That means you must be lying about everything else. They'll just toss everything you say away. Do you see the problem? That now, I might have listened to that 4 years ago. I'm not listening to it now. Because they actually showed their hand in 2020 with this COVID. They showed their hand.
Yeah.
Way more than you have ever seen it throughout any of these years. You witnessed the darkness that controls this world when they killed your family members.
Damn. I can't talk about it. Can't talk about it. I know it's affected Amish same way it's affected me and a few people in the chat, right? But I can't talk about it because this, I think, just talking about it like this last time on the other channel got me striked. Just talking about it like this, so I've got to be careful.
And children, when you watch people falling over, dropping dead on news broadcasts, you don't have to believe me.
See, how does Amish get away with saying this? How does he get away with saying this? And I don't. When I talk like this, I get striked.
And this is the nonsense that comes out of his mouth even after witnessing COVID. So what's that tell you? What does that actually tell you? So he says that this isn't an attack. It is an attack. You just attacked all of us by sitting around here saying that we are not truth. We are an off faction. All because you got people like Jaronism and many other people running their mouths, keeping the debate going, because why? You know why. So that they can get money. So that they can get super chats. That's why they do what they do. It's all for money. It's not for exposing and fixing the earth like what I do it for. It's for money. See, I'm never ever going to get hundreds of thousands of subscribers, and I don't plan on it. Doesn't matter how talented you are. Doesn't matter how much you know. It doesn't matter any of that. It's not about any of that. When you start exposing people and rubbing people the wrong way, the way I do, I can care less about their audience, quite frankly. I don't want their audience, okay? Because these people have all been brainwashed. And I want free thinkers here. I don't want brainwashed people that are cult members like Owen Benjamin's cult. But I figured I'd do this video because
oh man, I said Amish needs more props, and as I say, he can't believe he's only got 1,000 subscribers. That's just baffling. That's absolutely baffling to me.
I do want to document what he's doing and what he's saying. That way people know what the truth is. Now, does this mean I hate this guy? No, I don't hate this guy. I like this guy, actually, personally. It really burns me up that he says this type of stuff. But I personally, I've learned a lot from Max. I'm not going to lie. You know, I'll still expose him when he says things that are really wrong, that's really bad, really hurtful, and really damaging to the real truth community. But I'm gonna call him out for what he is. You know what I'm saying? And what he is a piece of trash at the end of the day. You know? You gotta sometimes, you know, sometimes people think they can just take things as far as they want to take. They're just, until someone says something, they're gonna carry on doing it. But sometimes someone's got to stand up and say something. And that's what I respect. I do respect people like that. Piece of his life will all lead a certain way, depending on how much trash that he leaves in his wake. Anyway, I'm done. I didn't mean for this to go on that long, but I got a live coming up, everybody. I hope everybody's good. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. You know I read them all, even if it's like a day later. Just hit me up. All right, guys.
In part 1, Disney-owned company National Geographic got caught out trying to prove the globe, essentially faking their evidence. In part 2, we've got a Warner Brothers company getting caught yet again faking globe evidence, this time Discovery Science. You wouldn't need to fake evidence if the globe was real.
Yeah.
It's obviously not real. Otherwise, these people wouldn't be faking the evidence.
Yeah.
So let's have a look. So what Discovery Science are going to claim is happening here is that a helicopter is actually flying behind the curvature of the globe Earth theory. But as we're about to see, yet again, these people are going to get exposed by their own so-called evidence. So let's have a look.
We're flying to Pyramid Rock. Do you copy that?
I copy that. You are flying to the pyramid.
The lake looks completely flat from up here.
If they are twice as far away as before, how much lower will the far shore of the lake appear to be?
You've even got Stephen Hawking narrating this charade.
Unbelievable.
Stephen, how did you get mixed up in this silly mess?
They didn't. They just stole his voice. Leo. Stephen Hawking was still back in the UK in his wheelchair. You know, he didn't know this was going on. They just stole his voice. Shit. I'm sorry. It's that weird Essex humour. That's all it is. Yeah, so let's check it out.
We're going to be at the top of the pyramid rock.
I got him. Yeah, I have you on the telescope. Go ahead and land.
Right, what I want you to pay particular attention to now, when they go back to the footage and he supposedly sees this helicopter descend behind the globe Earth theory's curve. You're going to see some birds flying across from the left to the right. Pay particular attention to those. There they go.
As it lands, it completely disappears from my line of sight.
Just come back to those birds again, and then we'll come back to this lyre.
They're idiots. They are
Watch the
absolute
birds flying
idiots.
from left to right as this helicopter.
How far away is this horizon supposed to be here for that to go? I mean, how many miles? It must be a tiny Earth if it's curving that much. Think about it. But look, we can see all this here. So what's he actually talking about? It's what, the water's curved and then it's ramping back up here? It's just nonsense. It's just ridiculous.
Supposedly descends behind the curvature.
As it
Then
lands,
the birds there.
it completely disappears from my line of sight. Joey, are you still airborne?
Yeah. Can you see us landing?
Yeah, right. Look how far up they are. Come on. What a bunch of liars. Did you just see what they just did there? Let's just go back. I want to show you. So that helicopter's just gone below there, right? Their horizon there, right? And then have you landed? And then you get this from up in the air. Like, where was that shot?
This is the face of a liar. Not a very good one at that.
It's crazy.
We have landed in our position.
No, it wasn't there, was it?
Crazy.
Not a very good. This is the face of a liar.
It was a little bit to wrap your head around it in that short a time. To wrap your head around
What's saying that the shot is like they're below that horizon, and then the shot afterwards they're like look like they're 100 foot in the air. Tell by the ground. I wonder if they show. I can't find the.
For me, I was like this.
This is the face of a liar. Not a very good one at that.
It's crazy.
We have landed in our position.
Okay, Joey, go ahead and lift off.
Now they're going to claim the helicopter's lifting off from behind the curve. But as we're about to see yet again, the birds, which we saw in the first clip, which came in from our left to right, are going to fly in again in exactly the same formation from our left to our right, busting this silly charade, highlighting the fact that a helicopter has been layered in. They were so lazy they didn't even bother to use two different clips.
Oh dear! So they've used the same clip with the birds, right?
Otherwise we wouldn't have had exactly the same birds coming in from left to right in the same formation as we're about to see.
It's impossible anyway. What they're saying.
They plan to ascend until Jim can see them on the horizon. Then they'll tell him their altitude.
So where is his camera over here on the other side? So you're telling me that this water curves that much over that distance? It's just an impossibility. We know that this doesn't happen. That's an impossible. That's just crazy. Look at the distance. It's nothing.
Let me know when you can see us on spot on the horizon.
Get ready, as
He's just on the other shore. As if water acts like that. Come on. We know from a glass, a bowl, a pond, swimming pool, a lake, a giant lake. They're all contained and the surface is all level. At what point does the surface start curving? And then you put that onto the seas. It's just...
Come up from behind the horizon.
This is the lengths that they will go to keep people in their fantasy world. This is the lengths. They get Stephen Hawking's voice, helicopters, and these big-ass telescopes, and... Come on. It's all for show.
The birds of truth coming in from left to right are going to bust this silly charade. There they go.
I got him.
Yeah, I got him as well. Incredible. Busted, mate. Coming back again, and then we're going to do a comparison shot. Synced up.
I got him.
Oops. And then when I put the footage side by side,
it's identical.
Birds, which of course instantly destroys it. Top footage supposedly when the helicopter went behind the curve. Bottom footage when the helicopter supposedly came up from behind the curve.
Nice find, Leo. Absolutely destroying them. Lying bastards, isn't they? This is the lengths they go to. Just lying straight to your face. Unbelievable. Well, it isn't. It's just, this is the sort of stuff you've got to expect from these people. So they need to keep people deluded and moronic.
But they were that lazy at the special effects department that they actually used exactly the same bit of footage. Unfortunately for them, there was a certain formation of birds flying by. And because of that, it exposed them.
It just makes you think, though, are they that stupid? Or have they done that intentionally? The people making it. I don't know.
You can even see the lake itself is exactly the same. The shades, everything is exactly the same bit of footage. They've layered it in. The helicopter behind the curve and, of course, coming up from the curve on the same clip. And in doing so, expose themselves and, of course, the globe.
Nice.
You wouldn't need to fake globe evidence if it was actually real.
It's an obvious fake, so the question is, why are they faking it? And the answer is because it's not what they say it is. And that's it. That's it. This proves it, right? This is proof of that.
You'd provide real evidence. Based on science we can all test and verify for ourselves, we can prove the globe scientifically impossible. And of course you look at mainstream evidence, whether it comes from Disney, Warner Brothers, you see that they have to fake it.
That's fine.
When French Freemason Pierre L'Enfant designed the layout of Washington, D.C., he placed occult symbols everywhere. The most impressive of these directly relates to the Bohemian Grove Society. When seen from an aerial view, the U.S. Congress building, surrounding roads, trees, and structures, clearly formed the picture of an owl sitting atop a pyramid. The same owl appears on the National Press Club logo, the Congress building itself, and the upper right-hand corner of every U.S. dollar bill. What does this owl symbolize, and why is it hidden in our architecture and currency? David Icke wrote, "The roads within the grounds of the Congress building make the very clear symbol of an owl. You also find that the owl is sitting on a pyramid, the pyramid and all-seeing owl. The collective word for owls is a parliament of owls, which is uncannily appropriate. The same owl symbol can be found hidden on the dollar bill if you know where to look and have a very powerful magnifying glass. I also understand a new pedestrianization scheme around Nelson's Column in Trafalgar Square, London, is going to look like an owl from above. There is a sexual playground for leading American and foreign politicians, mobsters, bankers, businessmen, top entertainers, etc., who are initiates of the Babylonian Brotherhood. It is called Bohemian Grove. 75 miles north of San Francisco in California, near the hamlet of Monte Rio, alongside the Russian River in Sonoma County. I went to the area in 1997 to have a look around, and when I told the hotel receptionist where I was going, she warned me to be very careful, because some people who had been to investigate had never been seen again. Bohemian Grove is a 2,700-acre forest retreat for the elite. Every July since 1873, hundreds, now thousands of top politicians, bankers, businessmen, and media personalities gather at the Grove for 2 weeks of events, ranging from the expected, such as meetings, speeches, and lectures, to the very unexpected, like drunken mass orgies and mock human sacrifice rituals affront a 40-foot-tall statue of a Babylonian owl god. Such craziness was often discounted as hearsay by naysayers, that is, until author and filmmaker Alex Jones infiltrated the Grove in 2000 and shot clear video footage of the cremation of care ritual in his film Dark Secrets Inside Bohemian Grove. Alex Jones said, "At this point, I should digress and go back and say that as we were walking into the Grove, we actually came within about 10 yards of the 40-foot stone owl that sits to the north side of the small lake. We were only about 7 yards away from the black altar that sits at the base of the owl. So already at this point, we had proven that the rumors were true. Yes, there is a giant stone owl. Yes, there is an altar. So I was there witnessing something right out of the medieval painter Hieronymus Bosch's vision of hell. Burning metal crosses, priests in red and black robes, with the high priest in a silver robe with a red cape, a burning body screaming in..."
I'm sure there was sound to this footage. When I first see it years ago, I'm sure there was sound. Yeah, and someone screaming. Anyone else remember that? The original footage of this? They did all the audio, if I recall. I'm trying to recall it, guys. It was such a long time ago. That's why I've researched all this stuff a long time ago. So when I see stuff like this, it's a matter of going back and trying to pick out what I do remember. I'm sure there was a video out there of this happening, of some ceremony at Bohemian Grove, and you heard screaming in the video, actual real screaming, as if they were making a real sacrifice.
Pain, a giant stone great horned owl. World leaders, bankers.
Hey, good morning, FPV. Great to see you, dude.
Academia engaged in these activities. It was total insanity.
It's the scripted voiceover.
Besides the occult ceremonies and sexual promiscuities, policy.
Yeah, Jax, do you remember? Yeah, Jax remembers. Cool. I'm glad somebody does, because
they even boast that the Manhattan Project was conceived at Bohemian Grove. Edward Teller, the father of the H-bomb, and Glenn
George Sterling
Seaborg, who developed plutonium.
The white... What's that say? What does that say, guys? The white silence. The white silence? What? Another big nose there. What's going on? Max Egan's relation from the 1800s. Look. He's everywhere. The Egans, they get everywhere. They even drawing portraits of them back in the 1800s. Damn. Look at this. Oh, stop it. Stop it.
Were both Grovers. Other past and regular attendees include George Bush Sr. and Jr., Bill Clinton, Ronald Reagan, Richard Nixon.
Oh, Chill does
Jimmy
remember
Carter,
it as well.
Ford,
Yeah, that's good. That's good. I thought I was going
Lyndon
crazy.
Johnson, Herbert Hoover, Robert and Joseph Kennedy, David Lawrence and...
Oh, yeah. Maximus Egus. Maximus Egan. Maximus Egos Ego Egan.
Nelson Rockefeller, Dick Cheney, Al Gore, Dan Quayle, Colin Powell, Henry Kissinger, Donald Rumsfeld, Newt Gingrich, Alan Greenspan, David Gergen, George Shultz, William Casey, William F. Buckley, Robert Novak, Ray Kroc, Prince Bandar bin Abdul Aziz, Mikhail Gorbachev, James Woolsey, Earl Warren, Walter Cronkite, William Randolph Hearst, Andrew Knight,
Maximus Egos, yeah, Egos,
and Bob Hope, just to scratch
Bob
the
Hope?
surface.
Got two Hopes, Bob and none. Right? You got two Hopes. That's what we used to say over here in the UK. You got two Hopes, Bob and none. So take that for what
Jordan
you want.
Maxwell wrote, "Now I have to ask you, What are ex-presidents of the United States, such as Jimmy Carter, Richard Nixon, Gerald Ford, Ronald Reagan, and George Bush, doing there? These are all living presidents, standing there in unison, the whole line of them, in uniforms, looking like KKK members in front of a great bonfire.
Yeah, I'm not shocked at the list either, Jax. Hey,
last 2 weeks of July of every year, a secret meeting is held in our country, in Northern California, by the world's most powerful people. Bankers, politicians, industrialists, entertainment luminaries, a huge composite of puissant world figures. This group is directly linked with the European ruling elites, and
I can't see any brothers. I'm sorry. I can't see any brothers or Indians or any... What's going back on here in the day, man?
It is commonly known as the Bohemian.
It did say white silence, didn't it? On that little placard
Society. Our now famous Council on Foreign Relations, the government behind the American government, is represented at the Bohemian Grove, along with members of the Bilderberg Group of Europe. A meeting is held once a year there to decide on a worldwide scale a manipulative agenda concerning your future. A shining example of true democracy carried on in the dark. Obviously, here your vote doesn't count. Appropriately, the owl was chosen as a symbol for this ilk, for it too is at home in the dark.
Not here weaving.
The name Bohemian carries a dictionary definition as a community of persons who adopt manners and mores conspicuously...
I would say, why this forest? Because this forest obviously originally meant a lot to the natives, right? But that's, you know, it's kind of like a kick at everything, right? When they build stuff like this in forests and then ban all the natives from coming into the forest, and crap like that really pisses me off.
Different from those expected or approved of by the majority of society, who disregard conventional standards of behavior. No wonder they want no input from you.
Yeah, I would say so as well, FPV. I would say so as well. They like the... It's like when they build churches on top of these old mounds and things like this, isn't it? They've got to put their little stamp on it, you know. And really, the real magic is under the mound, right?
Oh. Hi. I'm just trying out some electroculture. Some of you might have heard about this. Basically trying to make vegetables grow, and we're using basically the idea is to capture energy from the air using copper wire. Okay, and that goes into the ground. And so the idea is that we basically got one in already, is we bring electricity or charge, energy if you like, from the ether, from the air, and it basically goes into the ground. So this is just a vegetable patch we've got going in the last few weeks. Obviously, because we're in Phuket, Thailand, near the equator, then things grow pretty fast. So we got some cucumbers, or what would you call them in the States? Zucchinis, yeah. We've got some, this is kind of rocket salad stuff as well, buried in there.
Oh, nice. Okay,
so you can see it's already just, I mean, this is just from seed. No.
You guys in the chat starting to plant all your veg? Jax, have you started planting? I know a few people got their own little veg gardens. I know Jax does it, potatoes and stuff, and Simon does a little bit as well. John does some. That's why I wish I had a garden. Yeah, I've got no space either, Chill, unfortunately. I haven't got a garden area, which is really unfortunate. I would love to do my own gardening, my own veg and stuff like that. I'd definitely have a little weed plot, a little like potatoes, carrots. Yeah, I'd go for it.
Seed?
If I had the land.
Yes, it was from seed. So it's pretty
Blood is really on
fantastic
it already.
So
Yeah.
there's probably going to be some separation going on
John
here.
takes it
Now,
quite
this is not
serious,
going to be
doesn't
an
he? I
exact
mean,
science,
he
but
showed me,
I just
man.
want to say what I am doing is I've got one end
Pretty
here.
cool.
So it's just got a bamboo thing here. So this has cost me very little to actually put together. I got some copper wire. It's this is the kind of stuff you can buy by the meter.
I was thinking about it, getting a little allotment FPV, but it's they're not private, are they? Enough allotments you've got to share with a lot of other gardeners and stuff, and everyone can see what you're planting and everything. So mine, it needs to be a bit more low key because there'd be a little area in there for weeds. So yeah, do all the herbs, right? All the herbs. No, all the herbs and vegetables. That's what I'd love to do. Would be in my element. I really would.
Down at a hardware store. Hello, Tony. Hi. You all right, my man?
Saying hello to
So yeah, I stripped off the insulation. Depends what you can buy. Some people recommend getting some of the thicker ones, big thick electric copper wire, and then you can unravel it and get the different wires. But yeah, really. So I'm just recording this to kind of see if there's a time when we can make a comparison. So bamboo here, and wrapping the copper wire. You know, it's just an average length. So. Hang on a minute, my love. Yeah, I'll just show you. I really just literally, started off down the bottom there.
Bit of copper wrapped
Put the wire into the bottom. Okay, I've got some Blue Peter holes that I made earlier. So here's a hole that I made earlier. So I'm just basically, what I'm attempting in this one is to just have this in the ground. Okay, that will go in there. Getting in a bit deeper, right in there. Okay, so and just pat it down a bit. Yeah. So this is what's this? I can't remember.
Yeah, but Dorian, carrots and potatoes don't get you high. If they did, that's all I do.
What do you call this one? It's lovely. It's very pungent. This one. I can't remember the name. And we've got some lesses going on here. So basically what I've aimed to do here, if I just give you a long shot, is you can see that now I've just put that one in on the left here, and that's in line with this one. Now some people talk about making this trail, putting this trail of copper wire in a trench in there. Other people just talk about doing it this way. I figured if we're going to be doing something with any kind of energy or electricity, we need to create some kind of connection. So that's why I've just kind of, if somehow they connect just through the soil, whatever.
Yeah, that would be, if you dug a little trench in there first, had the wire coming down and going under the ground in the trench, and coming back up that way, then fill the trench up, and then plant. So you've got be like a full circuit, wouldn't it? And then it's just these two ends that will either be drawing it in, right? Bringing it in. I don't know.
So there's nothing in between these apart from soil, just nice fertile soil. So that's it. I mean,
Does
it's
it
nothing
work, John?
special, but it's a start, We'll see what happens. I mean, I'm just going to leave these wires out this way. That's kind of, and this one's going out that way. I've no idea if you might need 2 wires on each one, but there you go. So what also I'll do, if, let's see if this patch is affected in the same way as this patch. So we've got a couple of the same things here. These are almost ready to eat anyway, but they'll just continue growing and we can just continue picking them. Oh, just remember the name of this one, fennel. Fennel, yeah? So this is popular in Thai dishes as well as Western dishes. It's looking a bit jaundiced at the moment, I think, because it's putting up with some extreme heat in the
John's quite a serious.
I think we've got some tamarind.
Gardener,
Looks
so
like
he's
not
even John's
tree,
too
but it might
sure
turn into
about
something
it.
else. I'm not sure. Over there, yeah. So this this rocket,
that's all you can do, innit? You can just try it yourself. You get good results, and you try it yourself, and you see the actual visible results. Yeah, back on, keep doing it, right? I mean, there seems to be a lot of people seem to be into it, doing it. So there must be some sort of benefit to it, right?
This stuff is really. This is basically you eat this, and it's like wasabi, you know, just like the Japanese mustard. Yeah.
Exactly. It's green.
I don't think this is the actual thing, but it's the same exact taste. Just kind of, and I think we've got some kapow here. This is basil. Yeah, so very popular in Thai dishes. So yeah, there you go. That's the setup. All right.
Awesome.
As I said, just kind of recording this to see how. Oops, sorry, Abby. So there it goes. We'll see if that makes any difference.
I mean, you can grow weed now in Thailand, can't you? It's become like a legal thing to do. Remember the president or whatever he was saying was saying to all the people, yeah, it's like kind of illegal. It's legal now, but don't get too high. Don't sit around and smoking and getting too high. Do you remember that guy that I showed you the video? You can do that now. So I think the greenhouse company. They're out there already in Thailand. I see a video of them the other day. The greenhouse company. His name, Joanne or something. Yeah, I think that's his name. Jan or Joanne or something. The guy's name. Iron, yeah, from the greenhouse company, did a video the other day, and they're out there already in Thailand with the big tents growing shitloads. They're already out there.
Apart from that,
so that's what you should be. And if you're out in Thailand at the moment, what you should be opening up is a weed bloody place. It's going to become massive out there.
All right. And I do plan to do another one later on today if I've got time. I've got to hop off to the market first though. And
hey Brandon, welcome.
Yeah, I want to talk about the whole thing with indirect evidence and the way we've been led to believe that we live on a globe with just a collection of indirect evidence. We can go through some of that indirect evidence and talk about it, and the lack of curvature as well, and maybe the other aspects of the journey. But for now, I'm going to sign off and wish you a good weekend, and we shall catch up very soon, and hopefully we'll get some updates on this. Yeah? All right.
Results like.
Now we've got Justin Trudeau, the Canadian Prime Minister, discussing the flat Earth.
Really?
Take it away, Justin.
I remember a few years ago, I before the pandemic, before much of this, I got fascinated with the idea of flat earthers. Now, this is an entirely new phenomenon. There wasn't really any moment back in recorded history, not the ancient Greeks or the ancient Babylonians or the Incas or whoever else, who actually wondered whether the earth was actually flat or not.
Wrong.
Lie. What a liar. He just blatantly lied. We've all seen the ancient drawings and, from Hebrews to the Aztecs, from everyone, the Mayans. They all thought it was level flat plane, you moron. Again, this is the lengths they will go to.
I was taught at school the old Hebrew concept of Earth was a level Earth within a dome.
There you
Not
go.
that I'm standing by that model.
I know it sounds like Leo just repeated, and I have not seen this, guys. As I say, I don't watch them. I'll put them on here so we all can watch them together live. So, yeah. So Leo's seen the same stuff. You guys in the bloody chat have seen all the same stuff that I'm talking about. We've all seen the depictions, right? So that was a blatant lie from Justin straight away.
I'm not. So already you're wrong. Many of the ancients were cited as believing the earth was flat. So like I said, you're wrong, Justin. And you cite the Greeks, the ancient Greeks. They can't have been too savvy, because all they did was plant sticks in the ground.
Imbeciles.
And based off the shadows of those sticks, they suddenly came...
Greeks are imbeciles. You never trust Greeks bearing gifts. That's a fact. Never trust a Greek bearing 2 sticks. I mean, if you see a Greek with 2 sticks, run the other way. Immediately, call the police.
Came to some wacky conclusion that every single scientific demonstration on this earth was wrong. So dull were they that they couldn't grasp in their head that they would get the same results from a smaller local sun, thus destroying their silly argument anyway. Oh dear.
And Christopher Columbus, they knew the earth was round. There was no danger he was going to fall off the edge of the world. That wasn't what people worried about when he was setting up.
He just did it again. You know the you know the tricks that he's doing, right? You know what he just did there, right? And falling off the edge of the world. Come on. You know what he's doing.
Oh dear. Listen to the tosh these people are having to serve up to try and keep this lie going.
Yes, Leo.
No one believes there's an edge, Justin, based on demonstrable reality. All bodies of water...
Right, I'm not going to say anything no more, because Leo's just repeating what I'm saying, so I'm just going to let Leo do it. Well, I'm going to pull it back a touch.
Plant sticks in the ground, and based off the shadows of those sticks, they suddenly came to some wacky conclusion that every single scientific demonstration on this earth was wrong. So dull were they that they couldn't grasp in their head that they would get the same results from a smaller local sun, thus destroying their silly argument anyway. Oh dear.
And Christopher Columbus, they knew the earth was round. There was no danger he was going to fall off the edge of the world. That wasn't what people worried about when he was...
So what are you saying, Jax? Is he a female to male tranny? Could be, right? That arch back, small hands, big hips. Poncho, we've got another one. Poncho, we've got one. I think Poncho probably would have done Trudeau 1,000 times.
Setting up.
Oh dear. Listen to the tosh these people are having to serve up to try and keep this lie going. No one believes there's an edge, Justin, based on demonstrable reality. All bodies of water need to be contained. It's a demonstrable fact, one that destroys the globe earth theory. And no one believes there's a waterfall edge at the end of the earth. Again, propaganda put out there to confuse and muddy the waters.
Yeah.
And of course, it's done a job on the Prime Minister of Canada. Oh dear.
To discover the Americas or discover a shortcut to India. But recently, over the past few years, a whole bunch of people have decided that the world is flat.
No, it's not like a whole people have suddenly decided to say,
demonstrable.
Oh, yeah, the Earth's flat.
It's reality.
No. A whole bunch of people have decided to test and verify the fundamental claims of which we've all been taught and found out that the globe's scientifically impossible.
Now, everything we know about science, from the people we've sent to the moon, to the photo...
Moon landing's a daft charade. Check the videos on my channel to see how ridiculous that is. I'm not going to appeal to authority.
We've taken from space to how we explain day versus night and seasons.
All works with a smaller local sun. Again, why would you need to look up away from Earth at the sun and stuff like that when we can test and verify for ourselves using real world physics? We can all test and verify for ourselves and prove the globe's impossible. So again, you're just waffling nonsense, Justin.
He's just lying, barefaced lies.
We know that the earth is round.
There's the look of a man and the sound of a man who doesn't know a bloody thing. Bless him.
Oh dear, look at this clown. Female to male. Tiny hands. Right, he's got the... You put a triangle on him there. Right, it would match up perfectly to a female triangle. I'll put 100 quid on it. Big hips. Oh dear. What has this place come to?
But
look, look at his tiny little hand. Look, little feminine female hand. Look at it.
there are a whole bunch of people out there who have decided that the earth is flat. And they hang out with each other and they find different ways of proving to themselves that the earth is flat. Now that may not seem like a very serious thing, because someone who believes the earth is flat is not going to necessarily...
There's no belief. I'm only talking from my own point of view here. I'm a demonstrable realist. And based on science that can be tested and verified by every single person on this earth, the earth is demonstrably level. There's no belief. It's a scientific fact, Justin.
Does tremendous harm to everyone else. But the ability...
Tremendous harm. It's all these little end of the sentence words he just pops in at the end and then carries on as if it didn't say it. Do you know what I mean? It's that neuro-linguistic programming. So he's programming your mind with just even the spaces between the words are really important to these people. Try this, and it's all hand movements and neuro-linguistic NLP, yeah, NLP.
To start to believe...
And that's another thing I researched a long time ago.
Something that simply isn't true. Because enough people are telling you and reinforcing...
See, with the hands, all the hand gestures and movements
around you actually starts creating real problems.
I think what you're actually discussing here is actually the globe. You're trying to project the globe's failings and the damage the globe causes onto people now who found it out. It's very dishonest of you. Very dishonest, incredibly desperate. And of course, it's not a new tactic, is it?
It can bring us as a society to very scary places.
The globe is responsible for every single bit of human suffering on this earth right now. It's not an opinion, it's a demonstrable fact, Justin.
Right.
You're making yourself look incredibly foolish here, fella.
And that's why we're still very much trying to figure it out. How to make sure we're protecting people's freedom of speech and freedom of expression. We're making...
You've got algorithms set up to hinder even conversation on channels like myself. Comments going missing left, right and centre. Algorithms set up to hide videos.
Yeah.
Algorithms set up to promote globe propaganda. It's nothing about free speech. It's called
John Watson.
Censorship. You don't want the real truth to get out. Don't get me wrong. Your algorithms will promote strawman misrepresentations of the flat earth. So they can muddy the waters and have something that no one believes to attack and debunk. Of course, gullible, naive, mainstream believers will believe it and then assume that that's what people actually believe. Crazy.
Sure that marginalized communities and people who are traditionally oppressed by majorities continue to be protected in all the ways they need to be.
Now, if that was true, government and the powers that shouldn't be really had our best interest at heart and wanted to protect us.
There'd be no homeless.
There would be no homelessness
Exactly.
across the earth.
There'd be no homeless, would there? There wouldn't be no one on the streets. If they really cared. You go up to your local town or walk through the local city, it's strewn with homeless people. That's in any city and town.
But there's a terrible homeless problem in every single country as people are suffering. Now, if these people, these governments and space agencies actually had our best interest at heart, and they were so-called, their claims were true, i.e. they were exploring space for the better of humanity, if that was actually true, there'd be no homeless people here on Earth. But there's homeless people everywhere, particularly in America.
Yeah.
So it's not about protecting us or for humanity. Quite the opposite. It's about a narrative. One that's being pushed, one that's destructive, and quite frankly, evil. And it is the globe.
Societies, because There are lots of tools for majorities to oppress minorities everywhere in the world. But our capacity to make sure we're keeping people safe.
Just an idiot. You're talking about other people. These vulnerable people. Who?
And not having people actually believe that vaccines include a microchip that's going to track you or poison you when it's...
I'm not even going to entertain that subject. I'm pro-choice. If you want to entertain some government drug, carry on. Just don't expect me to be entertaining silliness. I'm a health freak. I don't entertain drugs whatsoever. I like good food and a healthy lifestyle. And I certainly don't listen to well-known liars who proclaim to have my best interest at heart.
I wonder if Leo's smoked a weed joint before. Do you think he's tested it out ever?
Actually,
or do you think he's done hallucinogens? He must have done. Must have tried hallucinogens once in his life. I would think so.
About saving your life. These are things we have to figure out together. And the more we have real conversations, the more we encourage our kids to be critical thinkers about what they see on the internet, the more we
critical thinkers.
Teach our kids.
I'm afraid the school system doesn't teach people discernment whatsoever. It pats them on the back, congratulates them on repeating things. That's it. That's not about giving them a skill set to discern and able to wade through bullshit and highlight what's right and what's wrong. No. Again, Justin, you're making yourself look incredibly dishonest here, or misinformed.
Not to take candy from strangers, not to...
So where is he at the local fire station? It looks like, is this like a fire station place? Looks like, is this a fire truck behind him? It looks like there's a wheel there, a wheel arch. That must be a fire truck. So he's at the local fire, talking flat earth to all the firemen. What is he doing?
Walk into dark alleys on alone. You have to look both ways before crossing the street. Well, we have to start making sure that as parents and as a society, we're helping kids and all of us be smart and safe in...
Well, here's a start. How about you actually ask the education system to provide an air pressure system example residing next to a vacuum without solid separation? How about you provide a demonstration of a pendulum that would suggest tower cranes could be dead still and plumb whilst doing ludicrous speeds in all different directions? How about you provide a demonstration of science, of real physical measurement of a large standing body of water displaying convexity upon its surface? You can, because
they're probably happy with their slavery. They're happy with it. They're in their little slave bubble. They don't want it to be burst, do they?
globe scientifically
comfortable, probably not doing much.
Impossible. And anyone shouting gravity, sorry, gravity can be overcome, i.e. the downward vector can be overcome by a gentle breeze. So it's quite clearly gravity doesn't cut it either. Doesn't make a scientifically impossible world suddenly become reality. Just doesn't. If you look at my channel for the last week, Justin, I've got 2 videos on my channel highlighting the skullduggery of the mainstream media. Walt Disney, National Geographic, Warner Brothers, Discovery Science, all caught out trying to fake globe evidence. Now that's not very good for the kids, fella, is it? You wouldn't need to fake globe evidence if the globe was real. You'd cite real evidence that would stand up to scrutiny. You've been busted, guys. Your fantasy world's been destroyed, and no amount of damage control, whether it comes from an online globe troll or the Canadian Prime Minister, is ever going to cut it. You've been found out, lads. The game's up.
What we choose.
Well, according to Max Egan FPV, that's just been built around us since 2015. Why we was arguing about the shape of the... This is according to Max Egan, right? While we were arguing about the shape of the Earth, they were building this slave system. That's... Can you believe he said that? Not like it hasn't been around for like 500 years at least, this slave system. I can't believe he said that. It's such a ridiculous comment.
To learn what we choose to to consume, who we choose to hang out with on the internet as well. It's a big world out there. There's a lot of beauty and wonderful things, and you're going to have more access to it than anyone else has ever before. There's also some really
It's
dark
always been a
spots out
slave
there,
system. It's always.
Your dad's going to be very thoughtful about how...
Yeah, it's called the mainstream media. Very dark spots, awful information, never about empowering you, more so about putting fear into you and getting you to make bad decisions. Certainly not empowering you with a skill set, and certainly not providing actual real scientific demonstrations that can be tested and verified by all. These people are in such a mess.
Oh, damn. Can you see that? That symbol up there? Like the Baphomet, right? Or the satanic... Definitely kind of satanic, isn't it? You see like the... Got 18 there, which are 3 6s.
Embarrassing. If you're an actual globe believer, this has become embarrassing, lads.
How he's going to keep you safe from all sorts of things in life, and that's just an extra worry we get as parents as our kids spend more time on their cell phones than was ever thought possible. I have a 15-year-old that I'm struggling with right now that I think some people can relate to.
Bless your 15-year-old. Just based on what you've been saying.
Yeah, that's the big question. Is seems like we're in a like kind of calm before the storm. Can we say that at the moment? We've come out of one storm into the calm. It's going to build up into another big psyop. What that is, that's anyone's guess. But it's definitely, can I say, on the horizon.
Saying here, they're going to be up against it with a father like yourself.
It could be a blue beam. It could be a fake UFO thing. Anyone's guess, right? Anyone's guess.
It's a reality.
Third World
Our job
War.
is to keep you safe.
Keep you safe. Can you see how ridiculous these people are? People that put up spikes in doorways. People that demand your taxes and you pay money. People that will beat you up and imprison you unless you do what they say. Want to protect you.
We're working on it as a government. One of the challenges, though, and this will be my last thought, one of the challenges is governments used to have the ability to protect people. If a shipment...
You're boring me, Justin, with your waffle. Governments have never been about protecting people or looking after them. It's always been about oppressing.
Control.
Space is a prime example of that.
All about
Multiple
control.
governments are pushing that and spending billions on it, claiming to go to an environment that's scientifically impossible. All whilst their people, the poor people, are suffering in their country, living in the streets, rotting and starving to death. You see the hypocrisy, the double standards, the straw man bullshit, the misrepresentations, the appeal to authority that these characters have to come up with. It used to work back in the day, but actually now it's having a counterproductive effect and is actually destroying themselves with their own so-called argumentation. It's fantastic, really.
And he was talking about flat Earth with a glass of water right there. Now, if any of these people had a bit of savvy, right, this is what you'd be mentioning right now.
Of Nazi propaganda was coming over to Canada. Well, border guard.
Oh, shut up, Justin. You're about as this is about as been as bad.
Leo's had enough already. He's like, get rid of this dude,
As
right?
effective as a chocolate teapot, mate. You've done more harm than good here with your so-called flat Earth debunk speech.
Absolute nonsense.
The globe's scientifically impossible. That can be tested and verified by all. The mainstream media have been caught out lying, producing fake globe evidence. And of course, that can be tested and verified by all. So we're in a bit of a mess. We've got governments that pretend they got our best interest at heart, but yet every single bit of evidence suggests exactly the opposite. So the sooner people wake up to the games afoot here, the better. And the best way we can do that is to stand by science we can all test and verify for ourselves. That way we destroy all of this silly subject It gets annihilated by simply standing by the things that are simply true. It's all you need to do. If you want a map, I demand full exploration to provide that map. You couldn't give me a map of the flat I lived in the 1970s without exploring it. So it'd be exactly the same for the Earth. And I demand that based off the scientific fact that the globe's scientifically impossible, tested and verified by all. And because of that, we've got to entertain all sorts of propaganda, misrepresentations, algorithms working against us. You type in flat earth on Google, you get pictures of discs residing in a heliocentric vacuum just sitting there, again, promoted as the flat earth, yet no one actually believes it. The flat earth is simply real world science, the results of which prove the globe is not only ridiculous, but of course scientifically impossible. And as a result, this is why we get people like the Prime Minister of Canada on full-on damage control. But the great thing is, this thing has progressed so much now that Justin Trudeau's so-called damage control, as I previously stated, is counterproductive. It's actually doing more damage. Keep up the good work, lads.
Yeah, that's a great video, that one, Leo. I like that. Leo versus Justin Trudeau, whatever his bloody name is. Okay, what's this? Oh, this is a UFO. This is underbelly. I've got. I don't know why he puts that globe, that globe up there. I think he's taunting me. Underbelly.
Got this crazy piece of footage to take a look at that was captured from this pilot's plane. So guys, let's have a look at the footage.
I haven't seen this either,
quick
so
chat afterwards.
Take a look. See anything? Oh yeah.
So guys, you may have noticed that the map was missing from the beginning of this video, and that is because I haven't got the exact location. The only thing I really know is that this was captured on the 4th of April 2023, and in this footage we can see this object come in and it seems to bank as if it's avoiding the plane. Now guys, I think this is an incredible close-up footage of what we are looking for, a UFO. But guys, what do you think about the footage? So until next time, stay.
My first one is it in the actual shot? Why has it been put in? That's pretty crazy. The way it comes in, it looks like it's actually in the What do you think, guys? Quite an interesting one, I must say.
So guys, you may have noticed that the map was missing.
CGI being put in. It's actually in the footage. It being put in after.
From the beginning of this video, and that is because I haven't got the exact location. The only thing I really know is that this was captured on the 4th of April 2023, and in this footage we can see this object come in and it seems to bank as if it's avoiding the plane. Now guys, I think this is an incredible.
Seems to be a line there. Maybe that's the way they actually fly.
Close-up footage of what we are looking for, a UFO. But guys, what do you think about the footage? So until next time, stay blessed and keep safe.
Cheese and onion crisp packet. It's just a KB crisp packet flying up in the air. Liz thinks it's CGI. Helium, some sort of balloon maybe. Maybe a deflated balloon. Oh, it looked like it was actually in the footage, though, didn't it?
Hello, flat Earth researchers, debaters.
It didn't look like it had. I don't know. That's a tricky one.
And debunkers. I saw
It's a good bit of footage, though, to talk about.
Meme on Twitter just now, and it said, "Write flat Earth backwards with .com and see."
I did this, and it couldn't get to the site. You know when that little thing comes up, site unreachable or something like that, it comes up. I tried it. But over in Thailand, you can do it.
What you get. And the truth shall be revealed. Let's do it. Flat Earth written backwards is going to be HTRAE and then TALF.com. You get directed to NASA. Try it.
Hey, Block, what's up?
Thank you very much.
Good to see you, Block.
Look at how easy it is to destroy one of the globe's top boys. We've got Simon down here. I popped over to his pantomime channel to ask him yet again. This is a question this man cannot answer. And for
you put a video up, Jax, didn't you? Put it on the list. I can't find it.
Dan keeps making videos about, well, he essentially attempts to defend space propaganda fails, and then claim that flat earthers
I
failed.
would have to watch it Saturday instead, Jax.
And as I've asked Dan yet again, how does you attempting to defend space pantomime mean demonstrable reality is wrong? You keep running away from this very simple question, and as a result, make yourself look dishonest, Dan. Now, I knew Dan would take the bait with that. And how have you not looked at the 50-minute ISS tour yet? You keep dodging that one, mate. So Dan's response, well, in fact, let me read my answer. So your answer is to cite more space propaganda rather than
it seemed like it was actually in the footage, didn't it, Doyle?
You've lost the plot, son. Answer my question and I'll entertain your propaganda video. If you don't answer my question, then you've debunked yourself and highlighted the fact I do not need to entertain your silly video. So Dan comes back here. Your version of demonstrable reality and mine are quite clearly different. So again, the 50-minute ISS tour, please. Now this is where Dan has just boxed himself right in here. Oh. My version of demonstrable reality can be tested and verified by all.
Yeah, it didn't work, no.
Can't.
Didn't work for me either.
By providing some practicality. Show me an air pressure system residing next to a vacuum without solid separation. Provide a physical demonstration showing a large standing body of water displaying convexity upon its surface. And finally, prove that tower cranes can be dead still and plumb whilst doing ludicrous speeds in all different directions. Remember, you said physics says so, but the only demo I got from you was you running away, ironically. You've boxed yourself in, Dan. You can't answer my question. And we both know you can't cite any science to refute demonstrable reality. What a mess you've gotten into. Now, let me just refresh this to see if Dan has come back with any science.
Leo destroys them. Really does.
No,
Hey,
of course
uppercut.
he's not. He can't answer the question, and he can't provide any scientific demonstrations. What we've done this morning here in the space of a couple of hours is absolutely exposed Simon Dan, the globe, and space, courtesy with the help of Simon Dan. Love it.
Thanks, Dan, for that.
How do you and how does this government define a woman?
To be honest, Sean, that question's come slightly out of left field for me.
What did you say?
Welcome to our world. We'll be waiting here with our arms unfurled.
Did you know New Zealand is pretty much the first place in the world to see the sun? Where tātou matiki mota ai. Because we're first to rise and shine each morning means we've got a bit more time up our sleeves. E tēnei nā. So we always have time to say kia ora, hello, tēnā koe. Every morning is a new opportunity. Ko wātea tātou whakaatu atu ki te tangata. We've got time for the little things. To show people around the place, not just as bees, but as whānau, our family. Tuku kōrero, tuku iho. Pass on our local knowledge. Ngā wahi pai, our favourite spots. And you know, do whatever it takes to make everybody feel our welcome.
Good morning, Brad. I hope you have a really cool day.
Ka pai koe.
If these lands could speak, what would they say? They would say, welcome. They would invite you in to share this.
When did this happen?
Extraordinary part of the world.
Is it because Posey Parker says women are women? Is that what all this is about in New Zealand?
This place, it's yours too.
Is this New Zealand?
This land is wide open for sharing.
Sprayed with water.
Welcomes all cultures. So
was this like a trans rally in New Zealand or something? And Posey Parker's turned up and they've just...
Let us show you around. Lead you to our natural wonders.
Natural wonders. That's pretty a rare thing to see these days, isn't it? Natural wonders.
And throw you head first into our beautiful countryside. Because what you'll find down here, what you'll hear within our mountains.
Oh dear, look, actually, what? I didn't know this footage existed. Posey Parker getting attacked in New Zealand. I can't even see her. Where is she? All that mayhem. Where is she? Randy, somewhere? Literally disappeared in all the mayhem. All I can see is this like 6-foot tranny here sticking out, throwing hands. Look, throwing those big butch hands.
Our lakes and our people.
Now some dude's getting attacked. This dude here is getting attacked by everybody.
What you'll discover is that you're welcome here. Make yourself at home.
Welcome to our world.
That's actually quite a good video there, put together by Infiltrated.
We'll be waiting.
I'll see what you say.
With arms
arms unfurled, waiting just for you. Welcome to our world.
False. They will cheat you, hurt you, lie.
Just get us to a police station, it'll be fine.
I thought they were going to crush us to death. What did you say? Not anymore.
People define themselves. People define their own genders.
Master looks after
People define their own genders. No.
That's a wrap, everyone.
That's complete
I hope
nonsense.
you enjoyed it.
Midnight rocker. Scorcher. Straight back to the daylight. Everything done proper. Yeah, set it up. Original selector. Original dapper. See you put the machine gun on their pillar. Rockers. The freaks. The punks. Anything goes. Yeah. Midnight. Straight till morning light. Oi! Watch out. Where's my lad? Yo, yo!
Midnight rockers, city slickers, gunmen and mannequins.
All a feature. The freak chihuahua. What? Enough of them a freak out there. Enough of them no mad out there. Yo! Arius!
You can free the world, you can free my mind, just as long as my baby safe from harm tonight.
Midnight rocker! The scorcher!
Hey, big shout out to everyone that come in today. Much appreciated, guys. Thank you.
I'll show as I'll retaliate.
Stand up and no sit down, we sit down. It's a midnight rocker. The company deal with it.
BPA. What's BPA? Dorian. Hey, cheers, Jax. Cheers, John. Clark, Chill, Dorian, Daniel, Liz, Amanda, Jax, OP, John Watson, FPV, Honor, Chills, Steve Watson, Ron. Thank you, Ron, for coming in. Tommy Rogers, cheers, dude. I know it's early in the morning for you out there. Thanks for coming in. Who else come in? Tony D. Cheers, Tony. Tony's Coffee's House come in as well, didn't he, earlier? We got That's it. That's all I can scroll up to, guys. Anyone I've forgotten, do apologise. John come in, didn't he? John. Cheers, John. Oh, uppercut and slow. Yeah, can't forget uppercut and slow. Yeah, John come bloods. Yeah, John come in. I quite like that track. Horace Andy. Midnight Scorcher, Horace Andy. What's this track? Look at that bass drum. See that bass? Had like a metal bloody bucket or something. Going for it, man. The drummer. Nice. Nice, I like that. My list of old school.
We don't need no stinking badges.
Just a little seed makes a big tree, standing on its own, thriving all alone. Just a little seed makes a big tree, grows so high, gonna touch the sky. Just a little seed makes a big tree, spreads roots deep, branches far and wide. Masonic lockdown in your hometown, Masonic lockdown. Can you hear me now? From the top.
Hey, cheers, John.
Soul shock down, state shakedown.
Longest #1 ever. What, that Crazy song, Chill? Crazy song is the longest #1 ever. Wow.
Dr. Evil,
Didn't know that.
and he's
Cheers, John.
Dr. Evil, with a master plan, a false vaccine, like a bad dream.
Hey, no, look, I'm glad you could follow me over to the second channel, guys. I mean, yeah, appreciation from me, sure, doing that. So this will be today and Saturday be the last ones here. Then we be back over to the other channel. So.
Every woman, child, and man, the plan to chip us all, to have complete control, the land, the sky, your soul. Peace like silence in the snow.
They still have a #1.
Free to do exactly as you're told. Obey, consume, and die. And up to heaven for your pie up in the sky. Sleep one.
Hey, cheers. Thanks, Amanda. Thanks for coming in.
You best believe your lying eyes. Geoengineering.
Oh, John, are you going to the Bedford levels? Oh, John's going there. Is that what you were talking about earlier about going live, John? I can't go live on this channel though. It means I've got to try and open up all the back chat, and I tried it before. Damn, and I'm still got the strike. Strike doesn't end till Saturday night. No, is it Saturday? Yes, it'll be Saturday. Yeah. Or is it Thursday? I don't know. I might be able to go live if it's Thursday. If the strike ends Thursday. No, it'd be today, wouldn't it? No. I don't think I'm gonna be able to do it. I see if it ends today.
Been to Earth from space by satellites.
If I open up Saturday and it's on the David Banner channel, I'll be able to go live.
Trying to tell me 2 and 2 is 5. Excuse me while I mention the strategy of tension, mass mind manipulation, psychological operation, the general population hypnotized right in front of your eyes. Drama and lies. Look into my eyes.
Try thinking the Bedford level line. Okay, cool. Thank you very much, Dorian.
Standing on its own, thriving all alone. Just a
right, cool. Thanks for that.
makes a big tree grow.
Dorian's already in the chat, so that's cool. Thanks for that, Dorian.
Just a little seed makes a big tree, spreads roots deep, branches far and wide.
Yeah, have a great day Saturday, John.
In your hometown, Masonic lockdown. Can you feel?
So if I come on the other channel, I'll be able to go live with it. If it's on this channel, I won't be able to. And I think the strike's still going.
Put your muzzle on, get back in your basket, get behind your doors, cause living here is drastic. Dr. Evil and his needle.
What have I done wrong, Liz? What have I done wrong?
Dr. Evil with a master plan, a false vaccine, like a bad dream. The plan to microchip every woman, child and man. The plan to chip us all, to have complete control, the land, the sky, your soul. Na 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 na, na 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 na, na 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 na, na na na.
Have you seen some of my memes on some of my videos, Liz? That's what it might be. Yeah, they're just for laughs. It really is. Oh, the YouTube strike. Yeah, that was medical misinformation. That was because I was talking about my brother. That's what that was about. I recall it now. I do recall it. I said something about my brother, and they strike me for it. Medical misinformation. So I've got 2 strikes on that channel now. So I've got to be really careful when I do go back. I've got to be really careful.
Modified organisms, and we're injecting them in little kids' arms. We just shoot them right into the vein.
But you don't have a choice. People act like you have a choice.
Goodbye. Goodbye, David. And I hope you find your safe place. Your refuge. Thank you.
I didn't know there was a 2-minute version of this. All right, guys. Come out of that now. Right, guys. I will see you next week. No, Saturday. I'll see you Saturday. Same time. Same place. I think. If I do come in on the other channel, I'll be able to open up the chat. So, all right, guys, I'll see you then. All right, Scotty dog. Hey, take care. Till then, take care.